Welcome back to the Box2Box podcast. This is episode 58. The season is coming to a close. Which teams are going to be making CL in the Prem, Serie A, and all the other top 5 leagues?
And both Bologna and Crystal Palace lift domestic cups, ending one of the biggest droughts in their club's history.
And the Premier League has announced their nominees for the Young Player of the Season and Player of the Season. Who do we have winning?
All this and more on the Box2Box podcast.
Let's go.
You ain't going home,
Your
bro.
Honor, I'm sorry. Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Also on the pitch, Mbangula starts our next. Mbangula,
She's Egyptian. Game tomorrow, would you rather Saliba or Mbappe?
Right, Saliba right now.
You wouldn't.
Saliba right now.
You're sacrificing
That face when you lie. That's
Saliba right now.
Welcome back, everyone. And first of all, I want to start by apologizing for the long intro. I know you guys probably didn't see it because it's,
Well, for them, it was 20 seconds.
Yeah,
for
them,
you guys,
nothing's
it's 20
happened.
seconds. But I don't know what's happening this morning. I can't speak. And so the intro was very long. It took us about 10 minutes.
I don't know. Usually it comes out very fast, but I don't know the weather. Man, that was a monster pause. This is not the day. This is not the day.
I don't think it's the weather, bro.
Oh my god, I don't know.
Well, I mean, we're getting
like,
9 days in a row of rain, so it's not the...
we're getting some London weather.
Yeah,
Varvar, I apologize. I did tell you to shut up because you were
Rage
you
baiting.
were rage baiting me while doing the intro, but it's not your fault. I was stuttering a lot.
I don't think he meant to rage bait you.
I misused the words of... Ferms, what did you say?
because I said let's see how this goes, and you said
No,
that's not
'cause
English.
But I didn't mean it like that. I meant like people don't say that when at that part of the sentence.
People.
Like
He's rage baiting me again. Crazy way.
Like you're below human. Like regular people.
Regular people don't say
don't
that.
say that.
No, but
No.
it might be like it might be said like that way in Italian. Like I don't know how to explain it, bro. I don't know how to explain it, bro.
That's
like
crazy.
like
No,
like
it's what it is that phrase is English. It's just
just
in that
misused,
context.
yeah.
It wasn't the right phrase to use.
Yes.
It was more like it could have been used for something else.
Yes.
It could have been another phrase said. But
And it also doesn't sound right in like an intro context.
yeah,
Well,
in
we'll
an
see how
intro
that goes. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Exactly. In intro context, it wasn't
Yeah.
like the most optimal.
Yeah. So,
Anyways,
but we got through it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got through it. We're here now, but yeah, honestly, it's been a pretty busy week for us. More like back end stuff, trying to get some stuff ready. Like we have a bunch of live streams happening, so
And that's probably the reason. Well, it's part of the reason why we're releasing this a little bit later. I know we missed our 10 a.m. mark both weeks, but
yeah.
we have
Stay
some
with me.
commitments.
I had my sister's engagement party, so
Yeah.
congratulations.
thank you.
Congratulations to your
It's
sister.
not really congratulations. I just show up to the event, you know. Like I know I'm the brother of the bride, but I just show up. They just tell me the
Big
date.
Bro, you
responsibility.
get special treatment,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. It is because you have to say hi to everyone.
Of course.
So it's like a big job. Like it's like, bro. At the yeah, bro.
Saying
At
hi
the
to
end,
people.
at the end, bro. You're kind of
Yeah.
like, I do not want to say hi to fucking anyone.
Yeah,
bro.
your social battery goes down the
Yes,
drain.
yes.
Gone.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and that's why on Sunday I was unavailable. And
Was it a
unless
good
you
event,
guys, yeah, it was it was
yeah.
a lot of fun.
You were good.
Yeah, very good. But as long as yeah, that's why Sunday I was out of commission, and that's why if you guys wanted a Ferms and Mili pod exclusive, then you guys
we
could
coulda
have done
done
that.
A lot of yapping
We could
there.
have yapped for 2
And
hours.
Pala's still in Italy, but he
Yeah.
gets back tomorrow, I believe.
He does.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll see.
So it should be regular scheduled
Yeah,
programming.
he was actually at the F1. There was
yeah.
F1 this weekend.
Yeah, there was a Italian Grand Prix.
Wait. Let me try and guess how, because I have no clue how this race went. So let me try and guess. Okay.
Yeah.
McLaren. Well, I'll give the Piastri won.
Do you want to make any other predictions, or is that not the one?
Ferrari.
Piastri
sixth
won.
and
Ferrari like somewhere between 6th and 10th,
Okay.
and
seventh. Verstappen.
Verstappen second.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
All right. Verstappen won.
Verstappen won.
Verstappen
And
won.
Imola.
Yeah.
Where we? What?
I love Verstappen. I think I
thought you hated him.
Biggest
bandwagoner
ever.
I love no, but it's like the NBA. I love LeBron. Okay, so I will always cheer for LeBron. I like a different team. I like the Raptors, which LeBron destroyed us for like an entire decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But LeBron is so likable to me that I love LeBron. I love to see him win. I don't like Red Bull. I like
He's
Verstappen.
I don't know. He's a robot. This guy.
Is he that likable?
This guy.
Great.
Yeah. He's just a.
He's a
normal
monster.
guy.
He's a monster, bro. This guy's the GOAT of F1, in my opinion, already. The GOAT.
That's a hot take,
Yeah,
bro.
they're extremely hot.
Lewis Hamilton, bro. I don't give a
Brother,
fuck.
that's
I don't give a
crazy.
fuck that was shady business on that Abu Dhabi
Talking
Grand Prix.
about a 7-time world champ right there, brother. But yeah,
Yeah, 7-time world champ. Where did he finish? 7?
he finished
The fact that he-
sixth. Sixth.
And where did Leclerc
4.
finish?
Or it was the other way around. I don't remember
4?
exactly. Yeah, but Ferrari finished 4 and 6, and Hamilton was unfortunately negatively affected by like safety car stuff, all the rules and whatever.
He always has excuses, bro.
No, it was
Verstappen,
no,
no
it's pretty
excuses,
safety
bro.
car.
Just wins.
It was
It's
a
safety car. It's usually
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a good excuse, no?
No.
Like usually safety car, like in certain instances, definitely helps you race, but in Hamilton's case, it didn't really help him.
Have they
at all.
done anything to change that? Because I find
No,
when
it's-
safety cars come in, like either somebody just gets such a clear lead and
But what happens is that the guy that gets a clear lead, if it's a really long safety car, it makes everyone catch up to him. So it's
Okay.
like it doesn't really help his case. And then it's like on the other hand, like Hamilton was catching up to the McLarens, and then with the safety car, it kind of like slowed the pace down and everything. He lost time. So
Where did
Yeah.
Piastri finish?
second, Norris
Third.
so Piastri
Thank you,
third, Norris
producer T.
second.
Producer T reveal coming soon.
Who was fourth? Was it Russell? Hamilton was fourth. Leclerc was sixth. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, sorry.
Hamilton doing better than Leclerc.
That was a race where it was just like I was watching it. Very good start, and then it was just, bro, F1 really needs
So
to do a better
the prodigal child finishing 6th.
job. Il predestinato.
That's Leclerc.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't a great race. But I mean, I saw improvements from the last couple of weeks, but
On home soil as well.
would have been nice to have a podium
Yeah.
in Imola. But there's still Monza, so
And what's happening with basketball? Because I've been seeing all these viral
Timothy
videos
Chalamet.
with also
with the
that.
Knicks.
But more, I was seeing the Knicks and the Boston fans going at it on the streets of New York or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Knicks fans are like, I don't even know if you can find the comparison in football.
It's like a more like rabid Arsenal fan TV, I would say.
No.
No, I'm saying like what's it? Talk NYC?
Yes, but you can't even find a
No.
pack of savages like that.
Are you talking
can't
about
even-
in terms of franchise or people?
like the
That's
fans?
Oh, okay.
Like you can't even find the comparison. Like you can't even find the comparison because they're like
Like they're literally saying like if the Knicks win, like New York will be off the map, kind of.
bro. New York's already tearing down, and all they did is make the conference finals. They made the 3rd round.
My God.
Started taking down lampposts.
I thought it was playoffs.
No,
It
it's-
is playoff, but it's just like, bro, you didn't even make a final. Like this is that for some teams, this is how they celebrate when they win the championship. These motherfuckers just made a conference final, but they look
And they
really
didn't win
good,
it
though.
yet.
No, but they look really good.
But Timothy Chalamet is gaining aura points by the day
Oh, bro, this guy.
But how
is
come
certified.
he's a Knicks fan? Like, he's
because he grew up in
he
he's
grew
New
up in
York.
New York?
Yeah,
People
he's
were
from New
telling
York.
him. People were basically telling him like he's a bandwagon. And he's like, all right, we about to check that. Right
Yeah.
now. We have to check that road.
Rolly.
And then
Bro.
there's a photo of him back like 10 or 15 years ago where the Knicks did a promo.
Landry Fields.
Yeah, Landry Fields, like try to find where I am. And the winner was Timothy Chalamet
That's
when he was like
crazy.
10.
Yeah.
And he got free tickets to the game when he was like a kid. So this
Yeah.
guy's been an OG.
Been there.
Saint Etienne Don.
I'm not. Yeah, he's a
Saint-Étienne?
fan
Yeah.
of Saint Etienne.
Huge Saint Etienne fan.
He always pulls up in Saint Etienne merch. and
That's
shit.
where I thought he grew up.
No.
But I guess he's just from there.
I think it's his mom or something. He's from there. His
Okay.
dad, Chalamet, I think he's from there.
Chalamet.
But honestly, if you had to make like a tier list of lives right now that you would want, like he might be up there.
Bro. And he got
see why you're saying
Kylie
that.
Jenner.
Kylie Jenner and all this aura.
yeah.
Basically, he's a sports icon. This guy is Paul Atreides of Dune.
Bro, they were saying he's Lisan Al Gaib.
Yeah.
Two LA girls cheering for the
two
Knicks. He really
baddies.
is the Lisan Al Gaib.
Bro, he had Kendall Jenner to the left, Kylie to the right, bro. It don't get much more stacked than
He's
that.
living
Crazy work. Yeah, that's the life. That's the life.
in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New York
Nice.
courtside. Done.
Bro, he's gaining that Leo DiCaprio aura that when you walk
He'll be
into a
there.
room. Like there's not many actors that like when you walk into a room I would go like, oh,
shit.
fuck.
Yeah.
That's him.
How old is he?
He's our age probably, no?
Yeah, that's
24.
That's what I would assume.
I'm gonna look it up. But bro, this guy
Done.
gonna be
He's there
there's
already.
really no this is another thing. There's really not many global like movie stars anymore. Like back in the day, there used to be people you would go to the movie theaters because that actor was in the movie.
Yeah.
Now, other than Leo DiCaprio and Timothy Chalamet, really maybe
about it.
Brad Pitt, maybe
Tom Cruise.
I don't really watch Tom Cruise movies.
Oh, Top Gun Maverick.
He was born in 1995, so he's 6 years older than us actually.
Okay.
Oh, so he's
So
pushing 30.
he's in his 30s.
Pushing 30.
Unk
He's
status.
really pushing 30.
Yeah.
Bro, he looks 15.
Yeah, he does.
We
Looks
look
like-
older than
yeah.
him. That's crazy. No, that's insane.
So-
But Knicks to win the chip though.
No.
Who says
Is it
no?
possible?
I want it, but it's not gonna happen.
And they're playing Boston?
Yeah. Well, no, they beat
played-
Boston.
yeah.
And
But now
now-
they're playing Indiana, and then on the other side it's Minnesota versus Oklahoma City.
I'm so out of touch with NBA now.
Yeah, I know. But OKC is a very good team. They just beat the Denver Nuggets. So Denver Nuggets got like Jokic and Jamal Murray. So
The fact that
they got blown
Jokic,
out.
the Nuggets basically had no head coach. Jokic was coaching the team as well as playing.
He's got that.
Bro, they fired their coach before the play, like
Yes.
right before the playoffs.
Why? Because they weren't doing good?
No, they were
No,
doing
they were
fine.
doing-
They're the
they were doing
4
well.
seed. It's like if you qualified for CL as like 8th place in the CL.
And you sack your coach.
Yes,
I don't know how that could work with you, but
because you have Nikola Jokic, bro. You should be the best team in the NBA. He's literally an era-defining player.
yeah.
It's like having like, I'm not gonna say LeBron because that's a whole other level, but it's like having like a Kevin Durant level player, like that level player in his prime.
Yeah, he looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
This guy's the GOAT.
Besides that, anything else big happened this
What
week?
else happened? Hockey? Nothing in hockey?
No.
Hockey Leafs choking in Game 7. As
Yeah,
per
but that's
usual.
that's
Anyways,
that's,
the
that's
sky's
like
blue.
Arsenal lost. Like who cares? We know that
yeah.
that was
Pretty
gonna happen.
predictable, you know?
Yeah, and then Leafs fans getting gaslit into thinking this team is still good. Basically, the Arsenal. People are saying they're the Cowboys of the NHL.
Yeah.
Very, very.
Arteta saying we will win next year.
Phase 10.
Yeah.
It's a Real
Phase 10.
Sociedad.
Phase 10, but if you want to go into the podcast, the
Yeah.
football podcast,
Let's go into it.
while Arteta is in Phase 10, you got Glasner lifting trophies with
Phase
Crystal Palace.
1.5 Glasner equals Phase 10 Arteta.
Crazy, bro. So Crystal Palace lifted the FA Cup against Man City, and
Yeah.
it looked like it was a pretty good game.
I actually love this Crystal Palace team for some reason. As they bring him to Man United, if you actually go player for player, I did it. They actually might have a better team than us.
Oh my lord.
I'm not even kidding, because they have some good.
The
fucking
foundations
players.
are good.
Yes, and this is years and years and years of good sign. Imagine Olise was still there.
Yeah.
Like then you're talking about like this team could have probably finished like, I'm not even kidding. They could have had a Nottingham Forest season probably if Olise was still there. Like it could have been.
I wonder what happened. Because this season, like they were more hyped last season, I would say.
Yeah, but that's because you have Olise, you have bigger names. But this season they're more of a solid team. And Glasner, amazing coach.
Yeah.
This guy won Europa League with Frankfurt back in the day, and now he's winning trophies with Crystal Palace. This guy is one of those that deserves an actual like
Big project?
big job.
Yeah.
If Amarim, let's say, didn't work out, I still think you obviously have to give him the summer, and then I still think he'll actually be decent. But if Amarim were not to work out, and we bought players for a 3-4-3 or a 3-4-2-1 formation. Look at what Glasner's playing right now at Crystal Palace. I would go and get Glasner if
Yeah, he's
Amarim
one of
doesn't
those
fit.
flexible managers that like just look at Adam Wharton, for example. You just improved him.
bring to Man United.
You know, like there's so many players in that Crystal Palace team that realistically, as an outsider, you say like, who are these people? But then you start watching the team and they have a very good team, a
they're
very
very
good core.
cohesive,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, Eze, I really can't stress this enough. Eze is him.
Eze is good, but I feel like he had an underwhelming season.
I
Overall.
disagree. I personally disagree. I think the performances were good. The stats aren't as good as the performances.
Yes, but unfortunately, you have to base it off of that in the end. Like the performances are good, but if you're the main man and you're not finishing your goals or you're not in that final third, you need
But
to kind of be
like Man City right now are linked to Morgan Gibbs White for 70 mil. Like I feel like Eze for me is a better player than Morgan Gibbs White.
he's younger, no?
Morgan Gibbs White is younger.
Oh, Morgan.
Yeah. But I personally like Eze as a player more. Like I'd rather buy Eze for let's say 50 million than Morgan Gibbs White for 70. Personally.
I don't know. I think I like Morgan Gibbs White more. I don't know.
They're very comparable players. I like Morgan Gibbs White also. I think he's a good player. I think he's quicker. I think like he's more physical, let's say, than Eze. But Eze, the reason why I love him so much is because he reminds me of a young Jack Grealish. play
Eze?
style wise. Yes, like that Aston Villa Jack Grealish is what he reminds me of. Where good luck trying to tackle the brother because you can't get the ball off of him, and he actually tries to progress the ball like relentlessly. And he started first half of the year he was horrendous at this, but goals and assists started coming in the second half of the year. So it's like bring him to Man United, basically.
Yeah, realistically, he starts converting a little bit more of those shots. He could be a good piece for a big team, I think.
Yes, and bro, this is once again gonna sound like I hate the guy, but Eze's better than fucking Odegaard. Like I once again I watched like this
That's
weekend. We can go
reactionary,
into
man.
Arsenal
Yeah, it's a
after,
little reactionary.
but bro, Odegaard, you cannot convince me that Eze is not a better player than Odegaard.
Why? Because one won a trophy this year and the other one didn't?
It's fuck the trophies. It has nothing to do with the trophies. Odegaard, he doesn't have the Eze has the ability to grab a game and make it his own. Odegaard's always just a passenger.
Yeah, but I think it really depends on the situation too. Like Arsenal is a completely different situation compared to Crystal Palace, in my opinion.
Exactly.
There's much higher expectations at Arsenal. There's a lot more responsibility that you would hope that Odegaard would do well, but I don't know. Crystal Palace, like insane achievement to win a first major trophy in your
They play
120-year
Europa League
history.
next year. I'm going.
And they're
on,
going to be playing Europa League.
I'm going on record right now.
They're winning the Europa League.
I think they will win the Europa League next year, unless Man City play in it. I will go on record and say right now that I think Crystal Palace are actually going to win Europa
It's
League.
hard to give these predictions when you don't even know who's playing in it.
Okay, let me rephrase this. They
have
get
a good
They get
chance.
3-4 signings this year to
Yes.
cover their depth because the depth is a crucial factor. But I think they will do a serious push in Europa League. I think they'll do better than who's going to play Europa League in La Liga. I think it's Real Betis. I think they're going to be better than Real Betis. I think they're going to be better than the equivalent. I think
Even Real Betis is having a good season.
yeah.
They have
You
good
see,
pieces.
Leipzig actually didn't even make any Europe next year.
Oh, my lord.
Well, they're selling Šeško. They're selling.
Well, I think
Xavi Simons.
I think if they made Europe, they would have only sold one of them. But now
Not
that you're not
both,
making
yeah.
Europe, you're gonna have to sell both. But yeah, they're gonna do better than all the equivalents of the other leagues. So then you're gonna remember this when the 12th place in the Premier League ends up winning Europa League. You're gonna see
The fact that they even made Europa League is crazy.
Yeah.
why is it crazy. You're telling me they're not a
Well, no,
Europa
it's
League
crazy
level
because
team.
Man
It's
City
more
was
like,
playing-
they beat Man City. And Man City, you're talking about Eze rising up to the occasion. Man City has Foden, who has been an absolute ghost
Yes,
this entire
horrible
season.
season.
Oh, he's been terrible.
But Foden's a better player than Eze.
So, but then
On
you see,
ability.
on abilities, obviously
Yes.
better. We can all agree on
But
that.
Odegaard on ability is not better than Eze.
Really?
Yes.
I find that you're just rage baiting then.
I'm not. So, hand on
Hand
what-
on the
what is it?
Bible.
Hand on the Bible.
I ain't
Odegaard
rage
is ass.
That's crazy.
That is
No
crazy.
rage bait.
I don't know.
But yeah, Man City, what a disappointing season. Because even the reinforcements you brought in January, who'd they bring? They brought Kusanov. They
Nico
brought
Gonzalez.
in Nico Gonzalez. They brought in Vitor Dish. They brought in
Marmoush.
Marmoush. It looks like they went 0 for 4. I'm not even capping.
No,
maybe
not 0 for
Marmoush.
4.
Maybe
Yeah.
Marmoush. You could say okay, like he could turn into something. But bro, I'll read out his stats. Compare
Yeah,
like
but-
you bought him. We didn't even mention the wage they gave him, huh?
I know. He got bought for like what, 70 mil?
No, the wages.
Wages. Man
350K?
City wages are like that.
No, you can't just say a player. I'll read you the stats, and then you tell me how much you would pay for this brother in wages.
Okay, but that's. I mean.
I don't know how Man City.
Oh, but when it's Man United,
No, because I think at a certain point you obviously you pay for guarantees. Like if you're paying such a high amount, you're expecting some level
Yeah.
of guarantee.
this is more than I thought it was. Weekly salary of 300K pounds a week
Yeah, but that would do.
for 7 goals, 1 assist in 20 games.
Okay, it's not a full season, but I mean.
But bro, you do pay for guarantees.
Yes.
For 300K a week right now,
could've gotten a lot of good
300,000
players.
pounds a week. Only let's say you add 100,000 pounds, okay? You could go get Florian Wirtz. Like it would be, you're better off saving the money from this
No,
Marmoush
because
just
Florian
about to
Wirtz just transfer fee would be more.
You're better
Way
off
more.
saving.
You're better off not buying.
Because
these players.
news just came out. Fabrizio Romano said they're pulling out of the Wirtz transfer because it's too expensive. You're better off. This is a Milan situation once again. You bought a player just to buy a player.
Yeah, but I think that's not close to a Milan
Listen,
situation.
Wirtz is way better, obviously, than Marmoush. But Marmoush has done it in, like, he has the stats to show that he's
Bro,
a good
he
player.
had one good year where he had one good half season where he overperformed every single stat that was out there. He had 33 goals and assists in 26 games for Frankfurt. Now he has 8 goals and assists in 20 games for Man City.
I legit don't
You
think.
bought a player that you were expecting to get, let's just say generously, in 20 games, you would have expected 14 goals and assists or 15 goals and assists.
Brother,
That's like,
but he's
14 or
also
15
just
goals and
joining.
assists would have put him like a top 5 in the Premier League top scorers list. No?
14 goals and assists?
Oh, goals and
No.
assists.
And
Sorry, I
assists.
thought you
No.
were just talking about goals.
No. But
He just joined. Like you gotta give him some time, brother.
when you're making £300,000 a week, I'm sorry, you don't have time.
Okay, but
You don't.
I slightly agree, but then when like Glasner was saying it against Pep, he knew exactly how he's gonna play. No, didn't he say something about like I know their weaknesses and I'm gonna be exploiting them? Like he predicted.
Well,
it.
no, he said because they played a little bit before.
Yeah.
And he said if Pep shows up and plays like that in the FA Cup
Exactly.
final, I'm gonna be able to
Beat him.
Yeah, I'm gonna be able to beat him basically.
Like it just shows that this Man City system is
well,
has
let's
flaws.
not act like Man City didn't dominate them. They did dominate them.
yeah, Haaland missed
So-
Yeah, but-
missed
well-
chances. They didn't capitalize on chances.
Man City dominated, but
the weaknesses
Crystal
were shown.
Palace were clinical.
Yeah.
and there's a reason why it keeps happening to Man City, where we dominated, but then we lose. We dominated, but then we lose. Like it's not random. I think Man City do need very many reinforcements this summer to go back.
That's crazy
And
to say.
bro,
Considering how
They're
much
in a
money they've
rebuild
already
season.
spent.
this year this year
Considering
was
the pieces
was
that they have
very
already.
bad mismanagement by
yeah,
Pep.
yeah. Like I don't know.
Very
if-
bad.
But at that point, it probably was just better to either call it a season, unless they valued, they saw a chance of making Champions League, because right now they could still potentially make
Could
Champions
make
League.
it, yeah.
So if they make Champions League, it really lessens that blow. But if they, let's say, miss out on Champions League, then it's one, our players gonna want to stay at Man City, and
You think Rodri wants to pull up the Azkaban next year?
yeah, like literally Europa League, like these players are at a higher standard, unfortunately. So I don't know. Do they tough it out for a season, then hopefully make Champions League and then go back, or like I don't know. It changes a lot. It really changes a lot.
And bro, I'm starting to see Man City fans starting to question decisions. I'm starting.
Which is crazy.
It's a snowball effect. It always starts like Ten Hag at the beginning, first year. No one questioned. Oh, he's our Lord
Don't
and
compare
Savior.
Ten Hag to Pep,
Okay,
though.
obviously not. But like Klopp towards the end,
Yeah.
you saw a lot of people start turning on like, okay, he's only here because of his legacy. Here, Man City fans are demanding, why the fuck are we going into a cup final with Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, and who was the other midfielder that started the cup final? It was another attacking midfielder. And then a quote came out after the game saying that if Kovacic was available, I would have liked the midfield was Marmoush, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne. That's not
You ain't stopping any
counterattacks
with
there.
that,
So
dog.
you can't
Yeah, yeah.
complain about
But
Eze scoring on a counterattack.
it's
after
been
that.
like that for
But-
years.
okay, but no, it's
Not
not.
necessarily.
Except
They've
Marmoush
always
there.
had Rodri, Kovacic. That's what
Rodri's a big miss.
The quote was Kovacic was out injured. If we were missing, he literally said we were missing a deep midfielder. If Kovacic was fit, he would have played. But bro, you just spent 60 million on Nico Gonzalez.
Yeah, you forgot about the brother.
What the fuck?
It's also. Do you think Pep is saying these signings are for him? Like this Nico Gonzalez guy. Like does Pep even know him?
But then
It's
once
just given
again-
by the board.
But then once again, there's obviously a disconnect between Pep and the board.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
So, like,
like even a
who's gonna go
Kusanov.
first? It's not gonna be the board.
I know, but like a Kusanov joins Man City.
He doesn't even
plays
speak
2
English.
games. Doesn't speak English. Barely plays now.
Yeah.
Doesn't play.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him in weeks.
Yeah.
So like, is this just the board buying players that Pep doesn't really know and doesn't really know how to fit in the team?
I don't know. Even Echeverri, that
Apparently he played
came
good,
out-
though.
He played good, but that was his like first appearance for Man City in like months. So
Where did he come from? River Plate.
he came from what's the club that Julian Alvarez came from?
River Plate.
Yeah.
So River Plate,
And they got ballers there. Mastantuono.
They,
Man United
always been
player
good.
by the way in the future. I think it was from there. Yeah, River Plate.
they've always been good, but I don't know. Manchester
That was actually
City,
his first appearance for Man City, actually.
bro. Manchester City just have this vibe around them that it just will not last. Like this, I feel like there's like a cloud over them right now that people don't have the faith in them like they did 2-3 years ago, even last year, honestly. And their performances in Europe, along with losing out on domestic trophies that 2 or 3 years ago they would have said, whatever, we're still contenders, we're still winning the Prem and we're contenders in Champions League. These domestic cups, sometimes you would see Pep pulling up with like literally B teams,
Yeah.
B and C teams. But you're coming into a game where this could be your only trophy this season. Not saying it'll save your season, but it kind
It's
of
good to have.
cleans up the blemishes a little bit, because you could always look back and say, well, I still want a trophy.
True.
But now you're officially going trophyless with the risk of not even playing Champions League. This to me is the definition of disaster. This is the complete failure.
You're not wrong.
With the number of signings that you signed in January, that, listen, Man City's form coming into this game was pretty good. It was decent. They were staying afloat in that fourth position, but I don't know. People will be questioning if Pep should be the guy.
And they don't have an easy next two games. They have Fulham and they have I forget this last. Let me check.
That's the problem. They have to still play at 100% for the next
Bournemouth
two
and
games.
Fulham, which is not easy.
Not easy, but
Are there
Man
such
City-
things as easy games in the Prem?
I knew you would say that. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
Too easy, bro. Too easy.
Yeah.
They are two good teams, though. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with Man City. I don't think sacking Pep is the move. I just think he needs to be, let's say, backed in other ways, not with these unproven players. But they're in a rebuild season, so I think next year will be really the decider of what's going on with Man City.
You're also losing key leaders too. Like De Bruyne is a leader that's been there 10 years.
Yeah,
Who's been there through
hard to replace these people.
very, very tough.
Now, I was reading. A lot of people are having a discourse that the conventional, because 10 years ago it was always the big six would always finish top six, but now you're seeing the big six aren't as
Big
dominant
six anymore.
as they used to be. But is that because of the quality of the big six decreasing, or is it the quality of the rest of the league getting closer to the big six, or actually at that level?
I think it's a bit of both, I would say.
Can it be a
Like,
bit
do
of
you
both?
think that the teams now in the Prem are worse than the teams 10 years ago compared to world football? No, I don't think so. I think that it's just the overall quality of the league has gotten so good that the big six aren't better than they were 10 years ago. I'm not going to argue that.
Yes.
But they haven't gotten worse. It's just everyone around them got better, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, well, you
To a
see,
certain
like,
extent.
you see,
And
like
Man
a
City
Nottingham
and Tottenham
Forest
are obviously worse. I'm not going to debate that.
Like, I think Chelsea 10 years ago were
better.
title contending teams.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is not a title contending team. You look at Man United is Man United, whatever. Like, it varies year
Yeah.
by year. When you're second, when you're 16th, like, it doesn't really matter. But
Then Arsenal.
Man City is worse now than they were 10 years ago.
Yes. But Man United, if you go back to our lineup 10 years ago, bro,
It was a
those
very
shits
messy.
were
It was a
fucking
very
ass.
stinky
They
team.
were terrible.
Very stinky team.
Terrible teams. But because the Prem wasn't at the level that it's at today,
Yeah.
we could get a shit season and still finish sixth, you know?
Yeah,
So,
makes sense.
Like nowadays, a game like Fulham, if you have 4, 5, 6 terrible players in your starting 11, you're not walking out of there with points. Like 10 years ago, you were. So
Yeah, I agree that the maybe the lower level teams like Bournemouth, Fulham, Brighton, like they all got Crystal Palace. They're teams that improved way more than the others. But someone like Chelsea, like Man City, we've seen little slip ups. Even Arsenal, you could argue.
no, Arsenal's a lot better than they were 10 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. They're still not good enough, but they're
they-
better than they were 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's true. Who else? Liverpool, for example, got like. Would you say they got better?
Well, 10 years
It's
ago, I
actually
think
hard
they
to
were
say.
winning CL.
In 2018, they played Real Madrid in the final, though.
Yeah, they lost. But yeah, they were still, I don't know.
It's
10
hard to
years
say
ago?
with Liverpool because they
Yeah.
did win the league.
But it's
So-
because they got so good so quick. So like 2017, 2016, Liverpool were not good. So if you go 10 years, yeah, they weren't good, but 8 years they were amazing. So it's
Yeah.
I don't know.
I do agree that the overall quality of the league is definitely
Yeah.
been more competitive and it's a lot better.
Well, we're gonna be doing our reacting to our Prem predictions
Oh my
in a
Lord.
week
Be a
or
lot,
two.
lot of
And,
conversations
bro,
in that video.
It's
They're
really
atrocious.
bad. We
The-
all
the
had Man
prediction-
United top 4, by the way.
I can't believe this.
It's thank God Paolo's not here right now because he would be going. I can't believe you guys.
told
It
you."
was so easy to predict, Russ. So
Yeah.
easy to predict. But yeah,
I mean,
no.
technically, he was wrong too because he put them 6th
Yeah.
or 7th, maybe.
like
So nobody could have envisioned this Man United.
it's crazy because even looking at next year, you can't predict who's gonna win the league,
No.
and you also can't predict who's gonna for certain make CL.
Yeah.
Like maybe you can say as of right now, you can probably say, oh, Arsenal's probably gonna make CL and Liverpool's probably gonna make CL, but all the other spots are all up for debate.
Literally.
and you're probably gonna say, oh, the 3 teams that come up are gonna get relegated again. So then you have those 3. But from like 16 to 17 to let's say 3, it's like there's obviously you're gonna
4 or
have
5.
some
Let's say
teams
5.
up. I don't know, bro. 3. Who are you gonna have 3?
Like I'd assume Man City gets better next year.
Yeah, but that's an assumption.
Chelsea, I
We need to
think- I
see
think
what the fuck
Chelsea
they
top
do in
4.
the summer. We need to see what they do. No, you see, I disagree. Like, I don't think, bro, Chelsea fans are complaining to me all the time about Enzo Maresca. They're not happy with the manager.
Yeah, but their squad is good.
That's why.
Who are they gonna buy this summer? Another fucking 18-year-old that's not ready to play in the Prem?
I mean, I think right now it could be a manager issue, but it could also be a player issue. It's hard to say, in my opinion.
And who's to say that Man City, they miss out on CL, Rodri doesn't walk up in there and say, yeah, I need to transfer to Real Madrid?
Nobody could guarantee that. But
Exactly. So we can't make.
But
the
you're telling me
assumption
Man
today.
City sells a Rodri doesn't replace a Rodri?
They try it with Nico Gonzalez, bro. 60 fucking million. He's not even starting FA Cup finals.
That's a Ballon d'Or winner right there.
But anyways, there were other games in the
Yeah.
well, that's not in the Premier League, but there were Premier League games this weekend. And Chelsea, Man United, we watched it together in the Box2Box office, the HQ.
HQ.
And yeah, it wasn't the prettiest performance. So
What do you want to talk about?
Speechless, bro. You're
Not-
speechless.
what is it? What doesn't need to be acknowledged, what doesn't need to be said, can be understood.
Is that a saying?
So you saying nothing says
Is
everything.
understood.
Speaks louder.
Yeah, you understand what I'm
The
saying.
silence
I
is
say
deafening.
nothing. Yeah, terrible performance once again. But we move on.
I
We
mean,
move on. That's a
You will only get a major crash out if we lose the Europa League.
If you hand Tottenham their first European trophy,
All these trophy droughts coming to an end. too.
they're all coming
my
to an end.
God.
All these trophy droughts, one after another, all coming to an end. Newcastle trophy drought finished also.
Bologna.
Bologna. Yeah,
Crystal Palace.
bro.
Then we're gonna have Tottenham, and then PSG not winning a European title yet, and then
And
they face
Inter.
Inter.
You realize that
Inter Champions League.
You realize that Mili, Man
All these
United
mid-table
and
clubs.
Inter, both my favorite teams, and Real Madrid, we have to uphold tradition
Yeah.
in
Winning
world football.
tradition.
We have football heritage.
Yeah, football tradition is lying on the shoulders of Inter and Man United.
You hear that? No pressure at all, huh?
We are
I'm not the one playing, so
we are the upkeepers of football tradition. Milan couldn't even fucking make European competition this year, so it's up to us to fucking really.
I
keep
can't
up
wait
the
for that
tradition.
Europa League final to
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
happen.
It's gonna be fun. Are you nervous for that game? Realistically,
Bro, we're playing Spurs in a cup final, bro. That's a fucking guaranteed win. I wrote that
Varvar
one up.
guaranteed.
When we beat Athletic Bilbao 7-1, by the way. When we beat them 7-1, and they're playing CL, they made CL in La Liga. We beat them 7-1.
Sunset
we
was
can't
injured.
We can't score a goal in the Prem, but we scored 7 against Bilbao. But anyways, I already wrote that one down as we're playing CL next year.
oh, okay.
Check that one off the list.
Champions League anthem finally back at Old Trafford.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I bet.
That's gonna be a
Bro.
good. That's gonna be a good transfer window with CL. That's gonna be a good transfer window.
Oh my God, Amram might need to cook.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that his whole season, his whole summer, his whole future could go up in smoke. in
Literally
about 2
his
days.
future.
in
But
2 days.
Does he get sacked if you don't win? No, he's staying.
No, I wouldn't sack him even if we lose, but we won't, so it's okay. That's a hypothetical. That's a hypothetical situation that will never happen.
So what happens if Manchester United go trophyless?
Nothing. We were
Failure.
probably expected to go
Failure of
trophyless
existence.
this
just
season.
make sure. Just make
Because you didn't win the treble.
We aren't the best team in England, like the best team in Italy that's gonna go trophyless potentially.
But anyways, back to Chelsea, Man United, brother.
Yeah, but
1-0.
Chelsea scammed their way to a win. I don't know
I
how.
don't know about scammed.
Look, from open play, yeah, sure. They probably. For me, this game was a draw that they ended up winning. Reece James, incredible pass.
Yeah, what an assist.
But then he also has some injury doubts during the game, but then he dishes out that pass.
I don't know.
And Cucurella, look, keep scoring Cucurella because then they're going to make people think you're actually good. So that's going to keep your spot in the Chelsea starting 11. And then one day they're going to realize, oh, this guy's actually
I
useless.
mean, if it's kind of what did he say that?
Hypocritical?
Hypocritical because if he keeps scoring, brother, that's a good player then.
No, because
Especially as a
then
left back?
I really like. I want him to score let's say a hat trick in the final game this season, but not
great.
even score 4. But I want him to score a hat trick for Cucurella so that when people look back next year after he has a shit season next year, they're gonna say, "But bro, he had 10 goals last year from a left back. Like we need to keep him."
Hard to believe that.
And then he's gonna have another shit season, and then he's gonna be hit. Oh, he has 10 goals from a left back 2 years ago. We need to keep him. The Ben Chilwell paradox.
Vito, by the way.
Yeah, Vito. I still can't believe that
Still
to
baffled.
this day. Baffled how Mili and Pala vetoed
more
a
trophies,
Ben Chilwell pick in 2025.
Brother, he just lifted an FA Cup,
Just left
actually.
an FA Cup, bro.
Did he play a minute?
No.
He took a photo with it. I saw it on Twitter. Saw it on Twitter. More than what Chelsea could do, unfortunately.
Ben Chilwell might actually be the English DeMarco.
Oh, my lord.
That's crazy work.
That's a good comp.
That's an
In what way?
egregious comp.
Like
He's never reached the mark. Actually, well, he was one of Champions League.
bro,
He's reached
at
the
one
levels.
point Ben Chilwell was very good.
He's reached the levels.
Like DeMarco in 3-4 years will probably be playing for what's the Crystal Palace of Serie A?
Genoa.
Bologna.
No, Bologna. They're 7th. It's not the Crystal Palace. They're 6th. They're ahead of Milan.
Parma.
Milan.
No, who's 12th right now in Serie A? Like kind of
Lord
equivalent.
knows. Fiorentina.
No,
No.
they're 7th.
Como is what, 10th?
No, Como's Como is like the. I don't even know who the
Como would be the Brighton.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would say. Oh, I'm looking up.
Bologna would be the Bournemouth.
Crystal Palace are the Torino
Yeah, that's good.
of the Prem.
That is good.
Yes.
They got their Samuel Ricci there.
Yeah.
Adam Morton.
They got some in there. They got some.
But yeah, did you guys see just out of this is completely out of left field? Chelsea are opening up skyscrapers in Dubai. I think it's
Investing in
Dubai.
real estate.
Bro,
Gotta invest in that team, bro.
you guys still don't own your fucking stadiums, and Chelsea are out here buying whole real estate complexes.
In other countries too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's more of a like their owners are buying the property and they're just tacking one of their IPs onto that building. Like it's just
So is
Chelsea.
this gonna
Okay,
be- is this
so
gonna
we
be
wanna
another
open
thing?
real estate? We actually have a soccer club. Let's take that club.
So is-
take that logo,
Slap.
tack it on the building.
Is this
And add
gonna-
the value.
Is this gonna be another thing that Serie A teams are gonna realize in 50 years? Oh, maybe we
They
should
won't
start
even realize.
We're behind the ball. Let's do this in 50 years' time.
Italians would just be upset that it didn't happen in their own city first.
Yeah.
and then they're gonna say, why do we need why do we need an Inter building in Qatar?
Well, forget that. Italians are mad about the Super Coppa being in Riyadh, in Saudi Arabia.
Like you're telling me an
It's always been like that.
Inter hotel in Milan wouldn't hit?
It would definitely hit.
It'd be vandalized.
A Milan
It would be-
hotel?
it
Would hit.
It would be
Like
burnt down.
imagine there was a joint Milan Inter hotel where half of it's the red side, half of it's the blue side. What?
You're just starting shit. That I do not want to work.
That's a
in
good
that
marketing
hotel.
plan.
Bro,
not?
what do you mean? That's it's actually smart what I'm saying. If that actually happens, they owe me a commission check.
No, you-
because that's a good idea. They start a fucking let's say they started like a who are your fashion sponsors?
Off-white.
Canali.
Let's say you started like a
Montclair.
Canali hotel.
Not anymore.
A Canali hotel that's half Milan, half Inter. That would hit.
It would
You have
hit.
Like, you have like a Milan theme side and you have an Inter theme side.
Brother, just two separate buildings.
Yeah, exactly.
But then what
Just like
happens
two
on the
separate buildings.
and then you have like the main floor when
Of
both
what?
sets of ultras come down
Yeah.
and they fight.
and you're just coming down from your building looking to get fucking breakfast, the Cornetto Cafe, and you have both ultras stabbing each other in the hallway. Yeah, cool.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan, bro. And then your door neighbor says, oh, okay, what fan are you? I'm an Inter fan.
Oh, honey, we go to the pool today? No, the ultras are there.
Unfortunately, they're popping flares in the pool.
Oh.
You're trying to sleep, you hear the whole fucking building shaking. They're all jumping. The whole building's gonna collapse.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I don't think that will be happening anytime soon. We still gotta buy our own stadiums.
Yeah. Well, at least
Not there
Chelsea's,
yet.
Chelsea's moving. I really like what they're like. Their project behind the scenes is great, in my opinion.
How much
They're
would
moving
you
like a
pay? How
corporation.
much would you pay for a Chelsea condominium in Dubai?
Shit, does it come with? What does it come with?
You gotta come with
Season
season tickets.
tickets.
Like you know how
It
the
doesn't
Habs,
come with
Well, what's
season
the point?
tickets.
Actually, that's
You
stupid.
know how the Habs have Tour de Canadien?
Yeah.
Like that's a cool.
Do they
concept.
get season
Chelsea,
tickets?
Chelsea are one club
I
that
think
you
you had an option.
can't. You know, Chelsea are one club that you can't give out season tickets because their stadium is so small. Chelsea Stadium's only 40,000 people.
Yeah, but also
they stand
for Also-
Because it's in such a dense area of London that they can't really expand. if
Gotta
they
go
want
higher.
because there's a whole thing at Chelsea right now. The directors are debating expanding Stamford Bridge or moving to a whole new location. Because moving to a whole new location, you could do a 60,000 seat stadium, 70,000 seat stadium. You can't do that where they're at right now.
Yeah,
so.
but people would get very upset.
So these condos are being sold to general public, and
I'm sure it's like curated, like it's like they have like a client list or whatever that they offer it to first.
Let me see.
Or
it's
something
pretty
like that.
interesting to be honest.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, but that's like a whole different business side of
Yeah.
football, which I actually am really interested.
I
in.
like that too.
That's pretty cool.
Here,
But how does? I don't know. Is this
Football
gonna?
residents. Chelsea FC have unveiled plans for residential skyscrapers in Dubai, which will feature a rooftop football pitch. The towers will house 1,400 homes and are set to be finished by 2029. The homes, priced from £470,000, so 625,000 US dollars,
Holy.
will be branded with the club's logos, the Infinity Beach Pool with blue sand. That's kind of cool. And the buildings will light up blue whenever Chelsea scores a goal. There will also be a football simulator downstairs, and on the roof of one of the towers, a full-size Chelsea-branded football pitch.
God damn,
Pretty cool.
Cool.
that is cool.
How much are they? 1,400 times 625,000.
Yeah, but that's starting. Like penthouse, you're looking at like 10.
Can real estate work almost like sponsors do with football clubs? Like, can you invest that money?
It's possible.
Like, I
Yes.
wonder how this ties into
Yes,
Chelsea.
that just counts as revenue.
Yeah,
You can use
same
that
thing,
as
right?
yeah. You can use that as just.
but then
anything.
at the same time, that must count as an expense for them as well. Like on like if they're building Chelsea,
Yeah, probably.
it's not like oh yeah, we're gonna make the expense go on our construction,
Yeah, on our
Side.
construction
but
company.
then all the revenues go to Chelsea. Like that's
Yeah, no, that's it. Got to be tied together.
yeah, that's kind of crazy.
It's $875 million.
Vibes.
Did
I
do
wonder
that
why-
correctly?
I don't think you did that. I don't know
How
I did that
come
correctly.
other teams aren't thinking about this real estate?
because it
a
depends who
glitch.
owns the teams.
But I don't think this is Chelsea. I think they have a real estate partner
Yes.
called Damac or Damas.
Yes, but
That's what it is. It's partnerships and stuff, or your owners have to be like a whole firm.
yeah, because Chelsea's not turning into a real estate company.
no, I know, obviously not.
But yeah, I mean, if clubs can start finding ways to do this, like it's like what brands do, like Armani Hotel and stuff
Well,
like
Aston
that.
Martin does that.
Yeah.
Aston Martin residences, and then it's like you basically
Comes
get,
with an Aston Martin.
comes with an Aston Martin.
Like the Porsche.
Porsche residences
in Miami,
exist.
it comes with an allocation for GT3 RS.
Yeah,
Wow.
which is kind of nuts.
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, you're paying $5 million,
Obviously.
So obviously, the
comes with a
least they
cost.
could do is give you a fucking
Yeah.
GT3
Yeah,
RS.
fuck. At that point.
Enjoy.
You're $5 million down, but here's a $300,000 car.
Here are the keys.
Here's your season tickets for Chelsea.
yeah, enjoy that.
But yeah, that kind of crazy. That was a little side topic I wanted
Yeah,
to bring up. And
that's
then
interesting.
Arsenal beat Newcastle 1-0, so they secured their CL.
Big
spot.
letdown,
I was really
Newcastle,
hoping.
maybe.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah, exactly.
really hoping.
Oh, I
Arsenal
was
would've
there.
lost.
I was the biggest Tonali fan.
I had that on the television. I'm hoping that like okay, let's make that extravaganza bonanza interesting
Yeah.
on the final day, but
Because
unfortunately, it wasn't.
Newcastle would have passed Arsenal if they won, right?
Yeah,
Which would have been interesting for the top four race.
but Declan Rice is just too generational. I should have seen it coming.
Only
I should have
shows
seen it coming from a mile away. That this generational brother, the guy who basically is the greatest footballer in England right now,
And
possibly.
Clipped.
But yeah, Declan Rice. It's games like this, bro, where the big dogs show up, and that just shows character, bro.
He
Really
did show
shows
up.
Character.
Arsenal win.
Yeah, but then Arteta went on the mic at the end of the game, saying thank you to all the fans, and he also said,
He didn't do it at the end of the game. I think it was like a fan meeting at the end of the season. Like
yeah, but at the end of the season, like at the end of the
What
game,
happened?
they did a thank you on the pitch.
Yeah?
he got on the mic. Yeah. And he
this guy's the greatest manipulator of all time.
and I think he said, because I was watching, he said, other teams in our position and what we've done this season would basically say like this is a success. He's like they would be very lucky to
He's
be in our
gaslighting.
position. Yeah, he's gaslighting.
Oh my lord.
He's coping right now.
He's a master manipulator.
He's basically
He's
telling
manipulating
everyone,
that fan base into thinking like you don't
need
deserve
me.
better.
You need me.
You
Like-
don't deserve better.
yeah. He's basically saying like you wouldn't get second place and consistent CL without me.
It's a toxic relationship. Like
Yeah, it's insane.
you're not gonna do better than me. You're not. Even though you have all these amazing things going for you, you will never do better than me.
It's like Drake.
You're
at the end
better
of
off
Diamonds
sticking it with
Dancing.
me.
Yeah.
The end of Diamonds Dancing by Drake. That's what it is.
Yeah, the
You
last
look drained. You look
for a minute straight.
exhausted. That's what it is.
But it's weird because at the beginning of the season, well, let's say during the half mark of the season, Arsenal fans were turning on Arteta.
Well, yeah, because the title was already done.
So, like, I mean, what changed from that?
At CL semis.
Yeah.
I guess 'cause they beat Real Madrid. It did look like the hope was there, but I mean, the project is still like the same. Hasn't changed since the beginning of it, right?
Look,
So
I think
what
the
excuses
turning
can you-
the turning point is gonna be like, are they gonna be able to keep Saliba? Are they gonna be able to keep?
That would help.
Well, Saka's gonna stay. I mean, he's Hill and through, and Rice is obviously gonna stay. But it's more like, are they gonna be able to keep the players that they've been able to develop? And Gabriel coming back from this injury, is that gonna like restrict his playing a bit? So it's gonna be interesting to see. Zubimendi for 60 mil, they kind of need that to hit, because I think Thomas Partey is not gonna be resigning, or if he does resign, like he's already 30 something, like he's not gonna. Do you see they
We'll
gave
get a better version of him.
Leandro Trossard's 31 years old or something like that right now? They gave him a 5-year contract extension.
Why?
I want to know
Because
who
they believe so much in his fitness and how much he puts in off the field, that they didn't mind giving him like a very
pretty
long
crazy.
contract extension at 31, which
Must be a leader in the locker room too.
very risky, bro. Like he's
Yeah. And he's
first
a
of all,
squad
he's
player.
not. Yeah, he's not even like that good of a player. That like you must have gotten him on a good wage for you to sign that.
Yeah.
So,
Probably like he knows that it's secured work for
Yeah.
5 years. I'll take a lower cut. Kind
Yeah.
Of thing. It's possible. I don't know. But Trossard is a weird case because like he's
has
a
moments.
very good super sub, but not good enough as a starter kind of thing. I don't know. It's very tough. But I think he does start at some teams.
I think he's a good
you
player.
start on most teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's a
great player.
He's a decent
Yeah.
player, but unfortunately, Arsenal need more certified core pieces, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like that they have
This
the
would
right
be
pieces.
a good fit for Rodrigo if he were to leave.
Yeah, that'd be cool to see. Very interesting to see like
Yeah.
a Rodrigo in the Prem.
That would be a
I
huge upgrade.
if Rodrigo leaves, I see him in London, either Arsenal or Chelsea, one of those two. Personally, I don't see the Liverpool, I don't see the Man United, I don't see the Man City. I see him at Arsenal or Chelsea, because there he is going to be a crucial player, yes, but not the main player.
Yeah.
Like Arsenal, he's never going to be better than Saka, so that we can brush to the
That's
side.
not true.
That's very true. He's never
He
going to
has
be better than
shown
Saka.
levels that he could be better. Brother, he won Champions Leagues with Madrid. How could you discredit that?
Okay.
Okay.
Clipped. Now Chelsea, he's always not going to be better than Cole Palmer. So then that's another.
But different positions, like.
But he's never going to
Rodrigo
be the
plays
main
a-
man. He's just going to be the side piece, which is good. Like now,
I don't know, bro. You're coming from Real Madrid, and it's like, bro. I don't want to bring up the comparison, but Ozil coming from Real Madrid, like
what did that do for Arsenal?
he was their main man.
For
And he
fourth
was
place
they
finishes.
didn't really have a player that
For
talented
fourth
in a
place
very long
finishes.
time.
Yeah, if Rodrigo's your main man, yeah, maybe you can finish fourth.
Okay.
And now is when the Prem was at its all-time lowest. in
Also,
quality.
how likely is Rodrigo to leave Real Madrid?
I would
don't know,
say
he
pretty
said-
likely.
He said
Why?
like don't believe everything.
Yeah,
he
I
posted
saw
on
that too.
Instagram.
Bro, going into next year, what you're just Real Madrid are just not going to change anything?
Oh no. Well,
But they are
depends.
changing. Look at the changes they've made. Dean Huijsen, like these Trent. These are defensive changes.
So now, when Xabi Alonso comes in and wants to play 3 at the back, okay,
What do their wings
your
go?
front two.
Rodrigo in that right cam spot would cook, or left cam spot.
Well, he's not. Vinny is much better than Rodrigo.
So
So
then Vinny
that,
left
he's not
cam
touching
and
any
Rodrigo
left
right
side.
cam.
Okay, so now where does Arda Güler go?
Arda Güler will be a sub
is-
to Rodrigo as
who
a right cam.
Xabi Alonso supposedly loves.
Arda Güler will cook under Xabi Alonso.
And
But the fact that you have Rodrigo, Vinny, Arda Güler, all these guys that could all play in those positions, you have a stacked team now.
Yeah, I would hope that
The
Xabi
forwards
Alonso
is not the
yeah.
problem; it's the defense.
but Rodrigo's not someone that wants to play 30 games a year. He wants to play 60.
So then,
I mean, that's a good mentality to have.
yeah,
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying he doesn't deserve to play 60 in this Real Madrid team, but he wants to be.
I think there's a lot more players on that Real Madrid team that do not deserve to play 60 games Rodrigo's not at the top of that list. That is 100% certain.
But in that front three, he's the weakest of the front three, guaranteed.
Yeah, but it's
And
still
next
a very
year,
strong front
next
three.
year, are you really planning on going into the season again with Mbappe as your out and out number 9?
I feel like they're just pinning Rodrigo as kind of like a scapegoat.
Yes.
Like they're saying,
well,
all
you
their
are, at
problem,
least.
you are, because like you're saying that if Rodrigo goes, like it's almost like all their problems are gone. Like that's
if
what
you
you're saying.
swap out Rodrigo for, let's say, a number 9 or a actual out and out right winger like a Bukayo Saka, the team gets significantly better. Yes.
Okay, but it's not because Rodrigo's like.
It's not
a
because
below
Rodrigo's
par
a bad player. He's an all right player. He's a good player.
He's a top player.
And also, put yourself in the shoes of these players like
He's Luis
Rodrigo.
Diaz.
No.
Yes.
Put yourself in the shoes of these players like Rodrigo. The brother is playing at the biggest club in the world, and why not fight for the starting spot? You know what I mean? Why would you dip?
Because he's been fighting for half a decade now.
That doesn't change then. Like, what do you mean?
He's been fighting
You're gonna
for.
stop fighting and join another team? Like, I find
He's not going to be fighting though at that other team. He's going to be like if he joins Arsenal, he's way better than Martinelli. He's going to be starting at left wing, which he probably wants to. Like it's going to be much more.
but
fit
you're
to his
downgrading.
needs. But you're a star player on a Prem team in a good city. London's a
then
nice
try to
city.
become a star player on Real Madrid. I know
You
that's
won't
very
be-
tough.
You won't be ahead of Mbappe or Vinny. It would just it's you aren't at that level. You're not there.
I mean, Bellingham came in a year. and-
I forgot about Bellingham. Where the fuck's Bellingham gonna play in this fucking front three then?
No, not in the front three. He'll be the midfield options.
No, that's no.
Like a Shaka and a
So then where does
Palacios.
Valverde go?
Valverde could right wing back would cook.
Where does Chouameni and Camavinga go?
I think Chouameni will be relegated to the bench.
Okay, but then where does Camavinga go?
Camavinga's been a bench
And
player.
where
this
does
season.
Trent go if Valverde's at right wing?
But
back?
listen to all the quality you're mentioning.
But
You're telling me
exactly,
Rodrigo's the problem?
Rodrigo's worse than every player we just mentioned, other than Chouameni.
That's
maybe.
crazy.
Bro. Rodrigo is not a star player.
That's crazy.
I don't know how we got into this with Arsenal.
I don't know.
But if you go to Rodrigo, go to Arsenal and Chelsea, collect that wage that's going to be way more than you should be making, and then live out the rest of your days as a good Premier League player.
It would be good for his career, but I just feel like you're at Real Madrid. Fight for that starting spot.
Yeah.
Prove the haters wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's
I
proved a lot.
disagree.
He's proved a lot already. Obviously, this season.
Proved he's a good player. He's a good player, but he's not. Don't tell me he can push Bukayo Saka to the side or he can push Cole Palmer to the side. Like this is my team.
I'm not
Impossible.
saying no, but Saka and Rodrigo will be very good.
Yes.
Palmer and Rodrigo will be amazing.
Yes.
So that's all it is.
Talking about, we actually just mentioned him. Trent officially is going to be joining Liverpool for the Club World Cup. Do we
Real
think?
Madrid.
Yeah. I said
Said
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Okay,
I doubt he's going back, right?
He's gonna
Yeah.
be. He's joining Real Madrid. You see, they bought him for $2 million. That's actually a disrespectful offer, but that's a whole other thing. They're replacing him with Frimpong. Do we think Frimpong will be an adequate replacement for Trent?
There's no other player of Trent's quality in that position. I'm gonna be honest. Even with a Frimpong there, like he covers, yes, but we're talking about Trent here. He's at the top of his position.
And I was looking at the conversations about the defensive stats of Trent and the defensive stats of Frimpong. Brother, it's looking like Frimpong doesn't defend as much. The brother's a right winger.
I think Slot's going to have to change this team somehow next year to make this fit, because if you're just expecting to plop in Frimpong and say, okay, we're going to get as much out of him as Trent, you're dreaming. But Frimpong, running forward, helping Salah on those overlaps, you may actually get more out of him potentially. I really like the signing for Liverpool, personally.
I think it was the closest you could have found to what Trent is, but obviously it's very tough to replace the best player in that position. I don't know. I think
Prem wingers are going to feast, though. That's what I have to say.
That's what I'm gonna say. And Slot, we know Slot is not like the defensive minded in the sense of like
He could be.
He could be, but they concede. And that's even with Trent.
I don't know.
In there.
They don't concede that much, bro.
I think they have the best defense in the Prem.
Yeah, they
potentially.
do.
Best
Up there.
defense in the Prem?
Up there, bro.
Yeah, but there's games where it's like they're down a goal, is what I'm saying.
Every team's down a goal at one point, bro.
Yes, but what I'm saying again is
They
that
have
you
the
are taking.
second best defense in the Prem.
Who's first? Not
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
But what I'm saying is that
sense.
yeah, but they also score a lot.
Yeah, they have 80. They have 83
Yeah, they
goals.
Score a lot. But I don't know, Frimpong, if you're expecting him to be an addition to the defensive side, then you're not signing him for the right reason.
Yeah.
Newcastle have the second most goals in the Prem. I did not know that.
It's that Gordon Isaac combo.
Bro.
And Murphy, to be honest.
Murphy.
Bring him to Man.
Barnes is also, bro.
Barnes too,
Barnes
cooked.
played well in that game against Arsenal. He was
Yeah.
actually very good.
Yeah.
All four start at Man United. No cap.
And Milan, unfortunately.
And
I don't know about all.
Milan star player, bro. Leao doesn't even get starts at your club.
Okay. But Frimpong. Unreal.
But you also had that Dutch connection. I think him and Gravenberch are like best friends also.
You got Van Dijk, Arne Slot.
Bro,
A lot of Dutch players.
that's why they're lining up for a second place finish next year.
Oh.
Because Dutch, they always finish second. Never win shit.
Yeah, that's true.
But they've always created some strong teams.
Yeah.
So the players are definitely quality. Dutch players have always been excellent. Like they've always been top.
I don't know, was it last Euros or last World Cup? We were talking about how shit the Dutch team is. Like the team was horrible.
Really?
Coached by Ronald Koeman. Like
It's always
Might
been the
have
coaches.
2018? What is 2018?
The World Cup.
I don't know. One of them was the Dutch team was so bad it wasn't even funny.
Remember the Paredes Van Dijk hit there in the World Cup?
But that was this
was a-
past World Cup, no?
Yeah, the
Argentina versus Netherlands, and it was que mira bobo.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
That was a crazy. But I think it was the World Cup before that.
that the quality wasn't up.
Yeah, the quality wasn't that great.
Anyways, I like Frimpong. I think he's gonna be a good. Trent is hard to replace, so Frimpong will be.
It's going to take
alright.
multiple players to replace Trent.
Yeah.
Output, because you're basically trading the best right back of a generation for. He's good. He's not bad, and I think we will be surprised by how many goals and assists he actually gets next year.
Yeah,
I think.
good FPL pickup.
I think he'll be 5 goals, 10 assists from right back, which is
It's fucking amazing.
amazing. But defensively is
I
going
don't
to be
even
the
think
worst.
Trent has that.
He's going to get more goals and assists than Trent, in my personal
Oh
opinion.
lord.
The Liverpool fans hearing the Varvar.
Yeah, no, that's
right
crazy.
away.
Because Trent is on free kicks.
He hasn't even
set
joined
pieces.
yet.
Already jinxing him.
But
Hasn't even
look,
put on a Liverpool kit.
2023, 2024, he had 24 goals and assists from right wing back.
Who? Frimpong?
Frimpong.
Yeah, but he's playing right wing.
He was Ballon d'Or nominated that year.
And then 1 second, let me check. Trent. This year he had 9 goals and assists in the Prem, 11 all season.
Damn. Thought a bit more. He's on free kicks. He's on set pieces.
I don't know. It really depends. We're gonna have to see that Bundesliga to the Prem. I don't know.
Marmushi Badusi did not pass the
didn't
test.
really translate well. So I think there's gonna be a lot of question marks. But I think it's a very good addition. Who else could they have signed realistically?
As a right back, the right back position is
Dalot.
cooked. Dalot. Nobody wants him.
Yeah,
Right back
no,
position is good.
I agree. The right back position, it's different, bro. It's just not the same.
Everyone plays with right wing backs now.
Yeah.
Everyone's playing a 3-back, so
They're all copying Inzaghi, bro.
the
Who copied
blueprint,
Conte, who copied Conte, by the way.
the foundation set by Conte.
Perfected Conte system. That's all I need to say about it.
But yeah, and then there's other storylines in the Prem this weekend. Like Vardy scored his 200th goal.
Pretty crazy.
In 500
500
appearances.
games.
So
It's
very,
one of the
very
most
satisfying.
pleasing stats to look at. It's
beautiful.
It's perfect distribution of goals. But one more goal, my brother, and then he has one game to score 1 goal, and then Pala ties the bet.
Ooh.
That
Wait,
Aslani
you said
kid.
over or under?
I said under.
oh my god.
Bro, you think 30? You see, he wants to stay in the Prem next
Yeah.
year?
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Bring him to Man
That's if
United.
Leicester stays, no?
Low key is better than Hoyland. Not even low key. He is better than Hoyland.
He's got the Prem pedigree.
Yeah. Bring him
done it
to Man
before.
United. Give him a fucking shitty ass wage. You tell
That's
him
crazy.
you get to don the colors of Man United.
As a sub?
Bro, we're gonna have
says no?
CL next year, bro. We need to ship Hoyland out. So right now we would have actually Xerxes still there. So.
Straight swap Vardy for Hoyland. Do you do it? This is
Bro,
what we've
it's
been.
because the values, bro. Like Hoyland's not valueless. Like I like to say that he's valueless, but he doesn't have zero
Yeah.
value. Vardy has zero value. So
Like he's really like a zero.
it's more of you ship Hoyland out and then you get Vardy.
Yeah. He has 200 goals though.
Yeah, but
a nice
we're
stat
not
to
buying
have.
the one that got 200 goals. We're buying the one that got 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the issue.
But do you see Xerxes loan plus buy option to
Inter? Who says no?
Man
Xerxes.
United?
Man
And
United,
Xerxes.
Xerxes and Inter.
Yeah.
Inter.
Everyone
Everyone says no.
Everyone says no. It just doesn't work for anyone.
Everyone says
But
no.
yeah, Jamie Vardy, low key, one of the most the most underrated Prem player of all time potentially. If this brother played, if he did what he did at Leicester, at Arsenal, we'd be talking about
Of course.
one
Oh
of the
my
league's
god!
best.
Oh my god! The amount of hype Aubameyang got versus like Vardy, and Aubameyang accomplished like half of what Vardy did in the Prem. So
Yeah.
But what's crazy, brother, it's 200 goals, but you're on a Leicester squad that wasn't competitive for most of that time, and you end up winning a Premier League trophy. So, like, I feel like that even adds more value.
the other elite players around you came and went, like Mahrez, Kante. They all left.
Yeah.
The Tielemans, like everyone.
Water was the name of my.
That
Robert
guy
Huth.
actually went to Chelsea and did nothing.
That
30
was
mil.
Yeah,
30
that was
mil they
a
spent.
miss.
that's on the list of one of the biggest misses.
Yeah.
That's up there as one of the Prem biggest misses of
Yeah.
all time, bro. This
Yeah.
guy showed up and I think he played like less than 10
yeah,
appearances.
he was not good.
But yeah, shout out Jamie Vardy, the
Deserved.
goat.
Goat.
And he always had like this aura about him and personality that was very like refreshing.
That's what you need from strikers. You
Yeah.
need a personality.
It was
Yeah.
one of those like old school Prem strikers.
and not like
Bash.
and strikers you can tell when it's a gimmick.
Yeah.
Like Hoyland, it's a gimmick.
Of
like,
what though?
Like bro, when he
tough.
scores the first goal in fucking 20 months and you start going like
Kind of cold though.
It's a
Cold
cold celebration.
But he
but-
can't do it.
but like get me Gyökeres and then do
And
that.
then do or hit the what is
Yes.
it?
The Bane
Bro,
mask.
Yeah.
Gyökeres available for 55 mil.
We're gonna get into it, bro. We're
Yeah.
gonna get into it.
But yeah, that was Jamie Vardy, player of the season in the Prem. Now
Salah.
nominees were announced. Yeah, it basically is Salah. But let me try and find the nominees. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Salah. There's no. There's
gonna be-
not
It's hard to
gonna-
debate that it's not him.
Like, there's,
Yeah.
I really don't know anyone else in the Prem that would.
Unless you throw in like a Van Dijk, you know. But I think Salah just for what he's done for Liverpool
It
this
does
season
need to be a Liverpool player,
has to be.
so I think you have to give it to Salah.
The nominees are Morgan Gibbs-White, Gravenberch, Isaac, Mbuemo, Declan Rice, Salah, Van Dijk, Chris Wood. I like the Isaac and Mbuemo shouts, but like
100%.
Mbuemo also another player that
Underrated.
that needs a move this year.
Yeah.
And I think he will get one. That's a player that, if I go into next year with any striker not named Hoyland and Cunha and Mbuemo as my front three, I'm
Very solid. Cook
City.
extremely pleased.
Yeah,
extremely
that's
pleased.
depth. That's
That's like, okay, now you're looking at like top 4.
Yeah. Then our predictions would be right.
Yes.
yeah.
Then
and then we're gonna put
we
them
were
like
a year
10th.
too early.
We're gonna put them 10th, and then they're gonna.
They're
end up
gonna-
third.
You're
third.
gonna put them 10th.
I'm gonna put them 10th, and then we're gonna.
Bro,
put
you
them,
let-
then they're
you
gonna
let
end
me-
fourth.
time next year?
You let me rock up with Cunha and Mbuemo behind a good striker.
I'm a Diallo.
The conversations and
Changes,
Premier
bro.
League player predictions next year will be
Over.
Player,
What?
most improved
Bro,
player of the season. Player of the season.
my prediction may actually go up from last season.
My God. So what? We're looking at a second place.
I think since we started
generous.
box to box, it's been second. Like you predict them second.
you're averaging
second,
a
All
three,
I'm gonna say,
third, second.
all I'm gonna say is that after Amram's first season at Sporting, that was a little underwhelming. He won the title. That's all I'm gonna say.
Just like Postecoglou says that he wins trophies in his second
Second
season,
year.
right?
Well, maybe
One
Amram
last
does
game.
in his first year.
Ooh,
That's Owa right there.
he cold.
But yeah, player of the season. I mean, all those players had good seasons, but I mean, Mo Salah was on a different tier. And then young player of the season nominees were announced: Liam Delap, Gravenberch, Elanga, Huijsen, Palmer, João Pedro, Rogers, Saliba. Who do you guys have winning?
It's a long list of names. I think, honestly, a couple of them don't really make sense. Like I'm looking maybe a.
João Pedro. What's a polar bear doing in
Yeah.
Arlington, Texas?
I'm not saying he's a very good player, but I think Brighton is not really in this conversation.
And all of his goals, I think he has 10 goals. I think 6 were pens or 7.
yeah, he does take pens.
He did not have a good season. Me personally, out of this list, I think Morgan Rogers might actually have the best argument for young player of the season.
crazy.
If you're not going to go with the boring ones like Palmer, Saliba, which Palmer, by his standards of last year, had a pretty disappointing
yeah.
season.
Gravenberch is also a good shout.
It is a good shout, but I think Rogers, the way that he took this Aston Villa team, and I had Aston Villa predicted 8th, I think, before the season started. We all predicted at least a bit of regression. They're looking at potential top 4 spot going into the weekend. So if
Huge turnaround.
you would have seen Morgan Rogers, the way this guy plays is like he's a baby Bellingham, low key a
Yeah,
bit.
he just-
So for me, he's my winner. Or even players like Delap and Elanga.
Yeah, I was even thinking more Delap, in my opinion. Coming up from basically getting into the Prem first season, and already you're getting links to some of the top clubs in the league. it's a testament to the work and the results that he's put in this season. So I definitely think he gets a shout here.
Hoyson.
Hausen, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Hausen.
Is it Hausen or Huisen?
Hausen.
Saddam Hoyson.
Yeah, it's
New
Hausen.
slander name just dropped.
Yeah, it's Hausen apparently, but I like Hoyson better.
I do like Huisen as well.
I like Hoyson better, but I don't know if they give it to a guy that just transferred to Real Madrid. But this season, he's been a revelation for the league. So I don't know. Could it be like a more of a PR thing for Hoyson? I don't like. He's been pushed a lot.
Yeah.
I don't
So
want to.
it's
I
tough.
don't want to start spreading. But there's actually a cool little story about Hoyson. Okay.
With
Supposedly his dad is a massive gangster. Gangster. Like I need to find the article that I read.
Mob ties.
But yes.
in the
Like
Netherlands?
his dad like
Spain?
robs people and shit. Like he
like
was
a
a
grunt.
massive.
Can we fact check this?
Yes, I will fact
that's,
check it
that's
before.
a huge.
But
Apparently his
accusation.
dad is not
Apparently his
good.
dad is a criminal mastermind.
Oh, never mind. It's not true.
I'm gonna find it before.
No, that was a parody account on Twitter. Never mind. Sorry. Shit. No, sorry. That's my
Oh
bad.
shit, that wasn't him.
Okay, 1 second.
Okay,
you
wait.
You guys speak.
Twitter. Okay, wait. Hoyson, dad, crime.
ChatGPT.
Okay. That's what we're gonna need to look up.
Perfect.
You let us know if that shows up. But I mean, Hoyson minus the criminal activity, very good player. Deserves to be on this list of a young player this season.
So by Juventus, by the way.
Here, just like his son Dean, Donny Hoyson was a footballer, but Donny was sentenced to 5 years in prison for exporting cocaine to England, but was ultimately acquitted on appeal.
Yeah.
Acquitted, bro.
Criminal mastermind.
Acquitted. Never happened.
Yeah.
Never happened.
So here I'll read the article. His father was also a decent footballer. He just had some bad friends, and alluding to what the fuck is this? They're talking about a kidnapping in 1883.
Like maybe that's a case law. Could it be?
18.
I don't know, but basically, yeah, his dad's a criminal mastermind. Basically, like
Criminal mastermind.
No
I'll go to Madrid.
source. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just believe us.
Source.
Box to box.
Varvar.
But yeah,
I don't think he wins it though.
Yeah, I agree. But that Real Madrid PR now
It might be good to win it.
may be
Just for the
They
league.
move the needle.
yeah, but yeah, my vote Morgan Rogers.
Yeah, mine too.
I'm gonna
Rodgers.
go Liam Delap. I think he deserves it.
Lame the lap.
Barcelona lost, but it couldn't be celebrated because they won the title, so you can't even celebrate.
Well, they were
those.
already doing their bus trip.
Little bus tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like this is they were just showing up to show
Yeah.
up.
Barcelona looked like chaos for that.
Oh my lord.
Celebration. But Yamal scores again. His patented. That's what I called him, bro. I said he's
The
a better,
cut-in is
he's
crazy.
a better Robin. That's what I said.
Producer
You
T.
can't stop
Producer
it.
T had a comparable. What was it? You were saying it.
He's the Neymar of Robins.
Neymar of Robin.
Neymar's why not
He's
the
the
Messi of
Neymar?
Robins?
Could be Messi.
Could be both.
He's got the flair. He got the flair of Neymar. That's
Yeah,
why.
he does.
But yeah, I even got the notification for it. It said Yamal scores his copy paste goal, and I'm like,
It's the same thing every time.
I saw
it always works.
But at a certain point, teams do need to like figure out ways.
It's not about
Stop.
figuring it out. He's unstoppable. when
I
he
know.
starts
Yeah, I
doing
know
it.
he's unstoppable.
You think the teams didn't think?
You think?
Oh, what are we gonna do?
Maybe we should try stopping him.
Yeah, it would be good if our defenders did what they were supposed to.
Robin made a career by defenders
Yeah.
just thinking, you know what?
He's gonna cut in.
He's not gonna cut in this time. I'm marking his left foot. He's not gonna do it.
What are the chances?
What?
He doesn't cut in. Yeah, I know. But I mean, at a certain point, structurally, you could, I think, do a good job of defending that. but-
I don't know if you guys, there's the TikTok trends where they go through the goal catalog of, let's say, the player, and they say good goal, banger,
Yeah, I've
good
seen
goal, tap in.
I like watching those
like. I saw for Yamal this season. They were all
Banger,
good
banger,
goals.
banger,
It
banger,
was
banger.
all bangers, golazos, good goals. Not a single tap in. That's why, bro.
Outside the box, Don.
He has 35 or 40 goals and assists this season. Imagine when he starts developing the tap-in gene.
Well, tap in is more. He's not in those. He's not.
Imagine when he starts getting into those areas.
But he's not in those areas. He's the guy who
Yet.
gets the ball and
But
brings
at the
it up.
beginning, Ronaldo wasn't in those areas either. But you start developing that gene, you could potentially be looking at a player who gets 60 goals and assists or 70 goals and assists.
Looks good.
Bro,
looking
it's starting
very
to look
promising.
translatable into Messi, Ronaldo numbers. It's starting to look.
He's doing it in the same league. He's doing it in the Champions League. He's doing it in every competition that they did it too. So, yeah, listen, he's there, man. Ballon d'Or talk.
He's my Ballon d'Or winner
Warranted.
right now.
Definitely,
definitely
warranted.
warranted.
He's my Ballon d'Or winner right now. I'm gonna tell you, without any tap-ins, he has Yamal. Let me check. Yamal. He has 38
But he's
goals
also
and assists.
he's also a player that, regardless of the stats, he's insane.
Oh, I
Like,
agree.
He does everything on the pitch.
But both Ronaldo, Messi, everyone speaks about
Yeah.
it that if you really want to be like the super effective players, you need to get into those
Stat
positions
conversation.
near the nets.
Yeah.
Near the net that like is really like we call it tap-ins, but there's Lewandowski, like extremely effective footballer.
Still
He's
a
not
goal,
the
you
best to watch, but he's an effective
Yeah.
footballer because, bro, this guy made a career off of scoring tap-ins. Like
Touching
the
it.
best players of all time, like it or not, score tap-ins, and it's a skill to score tap-ins.
Yeah.
It's not random. So once you start scoring those tap-ins, bro, you're potentially looking at 50+ goals and assist seasons year in, year out
Yeah.
for this
It
player, which
depends.
is
It really depends who they
crazy.
bring in as reinforcements to support a Yamal. Because right now, I feel like the team, like how the team is set up, it's very, very dependent on the creativity of Yamal and Rafinha in that attacking
like,
third.
But that's what
I
you want,
completely
though.
disagree. Rafinha is actually used as more of like a final line player to feed off of Yamal's creativity now.
But that's
like
why
he's
you have-
more of
how
a
many-
finisher
But
than
you
he
have
is
Yamal in the creative role. He's not in a top-in role. You need the players supporting him
Yeah.
to be kind of replacing him in a sense in that creative role.
But Messi, before Pep showed up, was also kind of like in that kind of role.
Yes.
Like a facilitator role more than like an actual finisher role. But then when Pep got there, he played false nine, and then the rest is history, you know? So then, but
Same trajectory for Yamal.
I think, bro, like,
You need Yamal to be the creator.
imagine Yamal joined Liverpool and was used exactly like Mo Salah. Like, bro, you'd be talking about. I would not be crazy to say he'd put up the same exact stats as Salah, which is 60 goals and assists. Like that's, I would not be They would not be crazy to say that. I think Barcelona. And look, he's so young in his career. He's 17. He's kind of has like he's still. You can tell there's still so much room for growth, which is
I know, that's what's
insanity.
crazy.
I know.
Insanity, because he's just so much better than everyone, and you can tell, oh, this brother hasn't even scraped the potential. So it's scary times, and this is the only time ever on this podcast Lamine Yamal glaze that I give
Unreal.
is I will never stop Lamine Yamal glaze. If we speak about anything else Barcelona, I will be the biggest fucking hater you'll ever
know
see
you
in your
will.
life. But Lamine Yamal is where I draw the line because this brother is generational.
Yeah, he definitely is. And I don't see how people watch him, even other fans of other teams, and don't appreciate him.
I agree.
Like, I think he's just an unhateable type of player.
Bro, we still have some Real Madrid dons in the Patreon and
that's-
Discord that still hate this brother. How do you
Mario,
hate
how do
him?
you do it, my brother?
Yeah, how do you do it? Because
You just appreciate it, bro.
but
you just gotta appreciate
you
it.
know you're fighting a losing battle. That's
Yeah.
the issue. Like you know, no matter what you say, you're losing. Like I can shit talk Arsenal, Juve, Barca, like Barca as a whole, not Yamal, but just like because they
'Cause
always
they'll
end
get-
up embarrassing
yeah,
themselves.
They'll get
at one
some
point.
bad results here and there.
Like Lamine Yamal, bro. Even when he doesn't get a goal or assist against Inter, he still
masterclass.
drops a masterclass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Like it's crazy, but
And you know what's insane is that we've kind of like as a football fan base have kind of just completely skipped over the Mbappe Haaland conversation and kind of just like, okay, I don't want to play with you anymore.
Yeah.
Yamal now. And then now the question is, okay, who's going to be rivaling Yamal for that one true?
and you know what's crazy is that like Pele always had this on his CV that at the World Cup at 18 or whatever, he was the best player at the World Cup and won
Like,
the
won
country the
Golden
World
Boot,
Cup.
I think, when he was,
yeah,
like, 18.
like he was by far the best player at the World Cup, and that's something that Messi and Ronaldo couldn't have on their CV that Pele always had, and was that he won 4 World Cup. He won how many World Cups? 3 or 4?
3?
I think he might have won 4, but whatever.
No,
3,
not 4,
like
not
3 guaranteed. That's a crazy feat.
Because the fourth one was the Bajomis.
Uh,
That was the fourth one. And then the fifth one was 01.
Yeah, that's true.
Or 02. sorry.
02. Yeah. Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, low key, if Lamine Yamal next year the World Cup, he has the chance to put something on his CV
Era defining.
that
Yeah.
that's seriously like you're talking GOAT talk here.
Yeah.
Like he was already, in my opinion,
Mind
he
you,
should have
Mbappe
won the
at
best.
18.
Yeah, but
And he was one of their best players.
he was one of their best players.
I mean, it was very.
He didn't win player. Did he win player of the tournament? I don't think he won player of the tournament.
I'm
That
sure he
tournament.
did.
No, Modric. Could it be? Might have been
Griezmann, Modric.
Oh,
was
yeah,
one of
Might have
those.
been Modric.
Why do I think Griezmann for some reason?
I think Griezmann.
And
I'll
then what did
I'll
Modric
ask.
win?
The
Ballon
Ballon
d'Or.
d'Or.
No, but at that tournament he won something.
I don't
I'm
remember.
pretty sure it was player.
In 2018 World Cup.
But yeah, Mbappe did win also a World Cup at that age.
Yeah, but bro, in my opinion, he should have been Euros player of the tournament. That
Yeah,
tournament,
totally
should've.
personally. Yeah, it was Luka Modric.
Modric.
Oracle.
Oracle. Shifting hands.
Yeah, but if that's something that, but that's why we always put Mbappe as, oh, can you reach Messi, Ronaldo, even though he didn't. But
But
can
the
he
problem,
reach?
the problem with Mbappe is that he stayed at PSG too long. Because
I disagree. I don't think it's the fact that he stayed at PSG too long. It's just
nobody paid attention
He doesn't
to him.
influence the game as much as Yamal, Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar. Like he doesn't.
But
does,
the
though.
common denominator was
doesn't.
that it was a Real Madrid Barcelona player.
Yeah.
Like if he moved to Real Madrid at what 21?
Yeah, 2021.
2021.
Conversations of Mbappe would be different.
because then you still had the Benzemas there. You still had like very core players that were very good. You still had Kroos there as well. Like you put him in an environment like that, and then basically hand the torch over. Like the conversation's different, in my opinion.
I don't think the conversations are done for Mbappe at all. Like I think he's back on track. He's been insane this
It's
season.
just for me, the conversations are more Suarez, that level player, than it is the top tier, which is still good. Like it's still very good.
It's tough because Yamal, when you're watching him, you could just tell how special he is.
Yamal especially. Yeah.
Mbappe was like he was clinical, but he gave me like
He had
the
moments.
Ronaldo. Yeah,
He
he
had
gave me like the Ronaldo vibes. Ronaldo more in his later years, I would say. Ronaldo gave you like okay, like he's a machine, but Messi was like literally like you're in awe of watching him. I didn't really have that. I don't necessarily have that feeling with an Mbappe of like awe.
But it'll get you the goals, you know.
Yes.
He's effective.
Yes, of course.
Extremely effective player, but it's more like a Zlatan, Suarez.
That's crazy.
Like that's what I'm thinking.
Like I don't remember Mbappe at one point like, well, maybe in the World Cups, but like this year in particular in the Champions League, like didn't have me reacting the way Yamal was having me react.
But that's also Real Madrid as a whole this season, I find. But Mbappe's been there. Mbappe scored a hat-trick against Man City to help Real Madrid beat them.
Hat-trick against Barca too.
Hat-trick against Barca. Like, it just goes under the rug because obviously,
They
like,
lose.
well, Barcelona beat Real Madrid many times this year, and Man City they beat. But I don't know. I don't know why it's not talked about.
I honestly think, like, yes, Yamal didn't get a goal or assist, but I think that performance against Inter is more memorable than the hat trick against Man City.
Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah. I'm not
So,
debating this.
goals
I'm just
and
saying.
assists. Like, yes, they obviously help and they're great to get, but bro, their performance.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
No, that Yamal performance against Inter is one of the best ever.
Well,
Ever.
I don't know about ever,
In a
but
Champions League semi-final
it is like wow.
memorable.
It's like that I witnessed that.
Yeah.
That's like a reference point. Like
Yeah.
you want someone to like, okay, how good was Yamal really? Is it okay?
Oh,
Watch
the Champions League semi-final against
semifinal.
Inter.
Yeah.
Just watch the semifinal.
Talking about other goats of our generation, Vinny dropped a documentary.
Yeah.
Goats of our
So
generation.
Yamal lifting Ballon d'Ors, but Vinny lifting
I didn't get to watch.
documentaries.
I didn't get to watch it. Sadly,
I didn't watch it either.
He's already getting motherfucking lawsuits by Valencia. Valencia
I
is
saw
giving him
that.
a lawsuit because they portrayed Valencia. This is what I think. They portrayed Valencia's fan base as just a bunch of racists and stuff. Like the club is just a big racist club.
He's
so-
just documenting his experience.
yeah, and he started crying. I think
minutes in.
yeah, because I think he was explaining that
You watched
like.
it?
No,
I saw
on
the
Twitter.
clip. I saw the clip. I think he was explaining how like kids from Brazil, they only have the choice to either like go sell drugs or like go work in the street. And
play football.
and he started breaking down crying like after that. So
Yeah,
like
it's deep.
yeah, but Vinny's such a goat, man. I'm gonna watch that documentary later today.
Oh, you really got time, huh?
Yeah.
Unemployment.
Yeah. But Vinny's an inspiration.
Yeah.
Where's this glaze coming from?
Bro, I love
What the
Vinny.
fuck are
I
you
love
talking
Vinny.
about?
Vinny a goat for real.
Why?
You don't know, bro.
I don't know what.
Squeezy.
He didn't do anything this year. He didn't do anything this year. Do you have a moment this year that you remember in particular, Vinny, like has taken over games?
Do you remember a moment this year in particularly
I'm asking
that
about Vinny.
Lautaro Martinez took over a game?
No, I don't.
Yeah, Trivela versus Bayern.
Trivela versus
getting a goal and drawing a penalty versus Barcelona.
Throwing a fake penalty.
No, it was a real penalty. No, but
Little
scored against
loophole.
Barca.
Little loophole.
Scored against Barca. But I'm talking about Vinny here, brother.
Yeah. This year was not his best season. It wasn't as good as his Ballon d'Or should be. I'm still in Ballon d'Or season because he won the Ballon d'Or in my mind.
Yeah, in your mind.
Yeah, whatever.
That I don't know if that was in the documentary, but that needs to be
I'm
studied
sure it was.
because
Were they making
he's the deserved Ballon
We're
d'Or
gonna see
winner.
another version of this if, let's say, PSG win the Champions League. They're gonna win a treble, and then no Ballon d'Or winners from there.
Well, Yamal should win the Ballon d'Or no matter who wins in the
crazy.
Champions League final.
That's insane.
If Dembele, let's say PSG win,
Yeah.
you would actually give it to Dembele?
There's a conversation.
Bro, he tied with fucking Mason Greenwood for top goal scorer in Ligue 1. Like, where's the bar, you know? Like
The bar is when you win.
League 1,
Yeah, I would
tied,
would
I would
top
give it
goal
to Yamal
scorer?
right now.
Yeah.
No matter what happens in the final, my
But
winner's
I
Yamal.
do think, like, obviously, if PSG win, that's crazy for PSG.
Yes, I would put Dembele second, just as like,
Yeah.
Congrats, bro.
Congrats, bro. He's
But
he's
you're
second
not
place.
You just won
lifting
a
that
treble.
shit.
No.
You're not
Just won a
lifting
treble.
that shit.
Dembele lifting a Ballon d'Or.
That's era defining, bro. Like imagine. Let's just say, okay, this is knock on wood. That you gave the Ballon d'Or to Dembele and you said, look, Yamal's gonna get another one, and he gets like a career-ending injury.
And he never wins ever again.
Damn.
Bro, that would be.
The
Not- that
biggest
wouldn't-
travesty in the
It
all of
would.
sports.
It would because you're giving Dembele an award based on the fact that you think, oh, Yamal's gonna win one, so let's just give it to Dembele. No, that's not how it works. Yamal was the best player in the world this season. He deserves his flowers. He should get the Ballon
Yeah.
d'Or. In my
I
perspective,
think right now.
yeah.
You know who doesn't deserve the Ballon d'Or?
Bologna.
Anyone that
Milan.
played on Bologna or Milan. Why? Because
Bologna.
Milan loses to Bologna
Just another week.
in the Coppa Italia final.
Typical week at Milan.
2 losses in 1 week for Milan.
Rough.
Amazing time for the pod.
Unbelievable.
Rough week.
Leal didn't start either of them.
Stupidity.
Stupidity.
There's got to be ego involved.
Bro, it's
in
not
these
stupidity.
decisions.
When no coach, both Portuguese, by the way, both Portuguese coaches,
Doesn't change anything.
didn't want to start the brother.
It makes no sense to me because
When's the time gone? When is he gonna leave? I started seeing Atletico Madrid links.
yeah, good luck with Simeone.
Yeah, you think
Leao running under Simeone.
you think Fonseca and Conceição are bad?
Yeah, just get ready for Simeone.
Puta madre.
I don't know. Nothing's going to plan right now. I think everything's crumbling, and this is the final days of the season where just everything. The path of the season literally went like this very clearly, and the Bologna Coppa Italia. Bologna played a good game. Like you can't even say that. Oh, we deserved this. The referees were against us.
So are they playing Conference League or Europa League next season guaranteed?
Who? Bologna?
Yeah.
Europa League
Okay.
because they won Coppa
Yeah,
Italia.
yeah. I just didn't know what the distribution
yeah.
was, but that's also crazy.
Great for
Crystal
them.
Palace are gonna beat them like fucking 7-0, but yeah.
Probably.
Bologna didn't have a good showing in Champions League this year, so
Bro, if Crystal Palace play Bologna in Europa League, that's a watch along.
I think you'd be surprised.
That's a watch along.
I don't know. I feel like this core of Bologna was like we spoke to someone that that understood Bologna. And he said that like this team, the core is like he never saw a belief like this.
Well, even like Calafiori was FaceTiming them after the game. Like even though he's gone in London, like he hasn't played in a year for Bologna, he's still FaceTiming the team after and like
They're all
celebrating
friends.
with them.
I'm sure they're all friends. And
Yeah, but Calafiori was only there for what? 1 year?
A year.
Yeah, like it's not like he has like this big deep appreciation for Bologna. He's a Roma fan too. Like it's not even like
he was
but
a Bologna Primavera player,
but
whatever.
1 year there was the buy-in that is required to just be part of Bologna, like the squad.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, they built a very good team, and honestly, the vibes around Bologna are amazing. Like the sporting director, the things that he's done for them, the pieces that he's put together, it's a very good project.
But he's been doing it at a couple other teams too before
Yeah,
Bologna.
Atalanta, Chievo Verona.
Yeah, like and those were when the teams were good.
Milan sporting director.
I'd love him. That's the one I
Doing
would.
well.
You will take your
Sartori.
Lazio sporting director.
I know I will.
And be happy.
I know I will. I would let Sartori is
I saw
one of
those
the
links
best in
this
Italy.
morning. Saw them again this morning.
Sartori's very good.
Oh, no.
Sartori's very good. but
Imitare.
I think you're closer to getting Tade than Sartori.
We're closer to fucking crumbling even more,
Yeah.
brother. With
And
this,
Milan
this
got
trophy
relegated this week. Let's not forget that.
What happened?
Milan got relegated.
Milan.
the Milan
Oh,
Futuro, the
Milan
No,
Futuro.
Milan got relegated.
as a club, yes.
as a
Yeah,
club.
Milan got relegated.
Yeah, even that complete failure of a project, even there, like there's no playing in Serie D just makes no sense.
Is it true that at the beginning of the season when they started off Milan Futuro, it was one of Ibrahimovic's boys that was coach of the Milan Futuro
No,
team?
he gave this MLS guy who Ibra worked with at LA Galaxy the mission to bring Milan Futuro to Serie B, and instead he did the complete opposite. Serie D,
Yeah, that's
and
really sad.
15 million spent on this youth team, and obviously these are kids, like they're kids playing in professional league.
Yeah, of course.
So
15 mil. How does the 15 mil come? Like
they
how does
spent
that-
on players. There's a Silvano Vos that came from Ajax for like 4 mil. They picked the little pieces here and there for a couple of millions here, a couple. It added up
Mil
like
here,
50 mil.
800 mil there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Silvano Vos played there. I forgot that guy even existed.
I know.
remember-
He barely played this season. He has like not many appearances. And you have people like Camarda who barely played for Milan Futuro as well. He's just stinking it up on the bench of Milan.
Yeah, because I don't know, maybe the board, whatever's left of the board. The
Everything-
board believes that like Camarda it'd be more beneficial for him to stay on the senior team bench than
I understand.
But I never really agreed with that.
But you know you could be on the bench and also play these games, right?
Yeah, but I also see that like you could also train with the first team and then
And
still
play
get
with-
game time with the Milan Futuro.
It does it like some stupid decisions across the board.
Some very boneheaded decision.
What?
All yours, bro.
Silvano Vos?
Breaking news: Matteo Moretto.
No. I love
Man
Matteo
United are monitoring Davide Fratesi.
Monitor him all you want. Bro.
Oh yeah.
45 million, brother. If he scores in a CL final,
Oh my God.
55 million.
Skyrocket the
Pounds.
value.
Pounds.
No.
Oh, that's gonna be bad.
You're actually gonna make profit on Fratesi.
I can't believe it.
Oh my god.
Another
Okay,
Marotta
well,
masterclass.
going back to saying your fucking Silvano Vos bullshit.
I'm not saying anything about Silvano Vos.
Yeah.
I'm just saying failure in the youth development for Milan. Failure in the season.
Senior team management has been atrocious.
Coach failure. Players, nobody improved. Maybe Rangers had a very
a
good
lot of
season.
digression. Not a
All
lot of
digressions.
progression.
And we were in such a good place last year.
Yeah, that's
where
the
it's
thing.
like you could have made the jump. You fire our coach Pioli and you fire all this management. You could actually build something great, and they just went backwards. And now we're in a rebuild season next year.
This was like you saw the development of Milan over the last maybe 3 or 4 seasons, where it was kind of like going in the right direction.
Yeah. Somewhat linear.
The core was defined.
Yeah.
like you had a definitive core, and you're just building around that. And then just one like I've never seen like just consecutive L's so fast, where it was just like every decision Milan did a season later.
Yeah.
Not even a full season. The season's still going. Just the next season.
Yeah.
Wrong. All wrong decisions.
Yeah.
And then no sporting director. You have Ibra there that's like, he's just an ambassador at the end of the day for
Yeah.
Milan. But he is propped up as a guy that has a lot of power at the club. You cannot have that. Everyone needs to know their roles, and everyone needs to understand that there's no one bigger than the club. I feel like with an Ibra, it's almost a feeling like he almost believes that the club without him is not good.
I don't know, but somebody needs to take account for all these things, and I think firings need to take place.
Forlani out.
The management. I don't know.
Everyone out. I wouldn't want to see Ibra there
Figure it
next
out. I don't know. You know what I mean?
But I really wouldn't want to see Ibra there next season.
You need to put the people who know what they're doing in the right places. But I think we talked about this before. It's just right now the Europa League final against the Coppa Italia final against Bologna would have made things a little bit better. You know, you're playing Europa League next year.
The morale of the team would have
Yes,
been better.
It would have helped. But after that, I couldn't even tell you who's. I watch Milan nowadays and I don't even know who's the best player anymore. You know, like Rangers has good performances, but like Leao is. I can't expect much more from Leao. Like I don't know who's gonna show up.
I don't think
Such a bipolar team.
I don't think Leao expects more from that team. Honestly, it's pretty sad, honestly, because I think Milan and Inter.
What manager can you even? Sorry, go
Sorry.
ahead.
No, it was just more like it's sad because I felt like Milan and Inter were kind of like more so Inter, but Milan were getting to that point of like it's going to be a really competitive front three, like with Milan, Inter, and then whoever else.
What?
So you're sad that Milan are shit.
Well, no, it's
the
just
league needs a good Juve.
The league needs a good Juve. We know that.
I think okay, that's another discussion. That's
He's
another
being
discussion
unbiased though. He's being unbiased.
where yes, obviously it's Milan merda till I die.
Right.
When there's
To
games
some
involved.
extent.
To some extent. But for the overall health of the league that
need
my
a good
team is
Juve.
in, you need a very strong Milan. You need a very strong Juventus.
That's crazy.
I don't think that's
I want a very
controversial.
strong Bologna. I want a very strong Roma.
But yeah, that would
Juve
benefit the
can
league
fucking
too.
go in the mud.
But that would benefit the league too.
Yeah.
But you have to look at it at an unbiased grand scheme of things from a casual perspective that doesn't have any ties or affinity to
The
the
league
league.
needs a good Juve.
The league needs a good Manchester United, right? No,
Well,
actually,
no, we
they
don't.
go
No,
fuck
we need a
themselves.
good Crystal Palace.
Need a good Nottingham Forest, actually.
But yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, I think Bologna deserved to win, and I think the feeling going into this game was that they were gonna win.
Firms, what manager do you want?
I told you, an Italian one. Now, what,
Farioli.
no. What helps now is that he is
choke.
Italian.
Just left
Choke the
Ajax.
league. Choke the league.
They choke the league.
Choke the league.
What helps now is that at least Milan is in no competition, so we can expect the manager to actually hop in.
The
What?
Napoli.
The Napoli way. Hop in and have a blueprint set out.
You know what we should do next week? We should come with like a list of Italian. So we set this before.
Okay.
Like, remember when Fonseca, like, oh fuck, if we get Fonseca, this is horrible. But then by the end of the start of the season, we were like, oh, Fonseca, you're creating a project.
Yeah, he's got
So by next week, we should come with a list of all the Italian managers that Milan could possibly get, and we ask firms, would this be good or bad move?
and we keep a
I like
tab
that.
of it.
Yes.
And so that when we go back and when we look back,
Yes.
and we say, okay, this is
I like
what you
that.
said about him.
So that when next year when he goes in saying, bro, we're gonna make top 4 this year, or we're
Okay,
gonna.
you said he was gonna relegate you.
Huh?
No. It's like you go into he's gonna say top 4, and it's like, okay, but you said about this manager that he's
I
not
like
gonna
that.
bring
I
you
like
Europe.
that. I mean,
We could do it.
if you want to do it for Manchester United as well, because top 3, top 4.
Gulp.
Bro, I'm not going in. I'm not going in saying top 4. I need to see the transfers first.
I need to see
Okay.
the transfer.
So you get a little benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Milan out of all Europe too.
Yeah.
So gonna have to stick to just the domestic cups. And
I'll offer you 50
Scudetto.
mil for Leo. No. Since you're so.
you think he leaves? You think if you were to see any players now, because you're officially out of Europe,
Yeah.
transfer, who do you see like handing in their transfer?
Reindeers?
Everyone. I'm not even kidding. Everyone.
Reindeers, Teo gone, Magnan gone.
Rangers, I feel like he would stay. I feel like
He's linked to Man City. Like you.
yeah, but
if
because Man City
makes
are
Champions League.
interested.
Yeah.
But Reindeers, like I feel like
Well, I'd hope-
he could see it as if I was in Reindeers' position. Okay, yes, it sucks that you guys aren't in Europe, but you could also be the star.
So you could
Of
be.
Milan.
No, but
You could go get paid double somewhere else.
yeah.
I wouldn't.
and
I wouldn't blame
actually
him.
compete for titles.
You need to also.
wouldn't blame him.
You need to also think. The team is a mess right now. The coach, you don't even know who is going to be Milan's next coach. Like you don't know what the project is. So you have these teams lurking around with better projects. You're considering those teams. You know what I mean?
This is getting very close to banter era conversations. I
This
think
year
you're
was a
in-
banter era.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
No, but it's the after effects of because I've seen it with Inter. We've
It's a
seen it with
rebuild.
Milan.
season. I'm
where-
telling you, next season is a rebuild
where your
season.
stars
It's not
leave,
good.
your stars mass exodus, and then you're stuck trying to get young players on a cheap because it's like that you have to kind of resort to value instead of proven because you're not in Europe.
Well,
and
we've
it's
been
just
doing
like,
that,
Sucks, 'cause the
unfortunately.
league needs a good Milan.
Yeah, and a good Juve.
I don't think that's controversial at all. I really don't think that's controversial at all.
I think the league needs a good Napoli to win the title.
yeah.
That's what we need.
Just kidding. We need a good Inter.
We need an extravaganza bonanza.
Yeah, you better hope
that's what we
Inter win
need.
the Champions League to keep Serie A's fucking repertoire up,
Inter,
reputation.
Inter like this with the Serie
Yeah.
A reputation.
Stopping the bus like Spider-Man.
Yeah. So what's happening with Inter in the final day though? You got
since we're there.
Predictions.
This was such a morale defeat to me. I was so dead
the Lazio game.
because this weekend the context was that if Inter beat Lazio and Napoli dropped points, Inter would be first heading into the final game, and it would be up to Inter basically.
Faith in your hands.
Our destiny's in our own hands. We just have to win our final game, and we win we win the
The Champions League.
we win the Scudetto. But Parma did their job.
Yeah.
Because
So
it was Parma versus Napoli.
Bro, think about it. Oh, but when the 31st in 2 weeks' time, you could either have the greatest Inter season that you will ever see in your lifetime,
Or the worst.
or a trophyless fucking season.
And as a true Interista, I say that just think about the worst for now. Don't give yourself the hope. Just
So
think
you
about
have
the worst.
Napoli winning the Scudetto.
Napoli winning the Scudetto, and PSG winning
Bro,
Champions
that's
League.
crazy. Because I have fucking Inter winning this
Double.
The real fucking Inter.
The league
real
needs a
Inter
good Inter.
fan. The real Inter fan.
Keep talking, bro.
The
I'm gonna
real-
keep knocking.
The real fucking Inter fan.
Agreed.
Yeah.
On the Man United badge, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but listen.
Inter fan.
Regardless, Parma did their job. Tied Napoli. Napoli dropped points. Inter just needed to win versus Lazio. End up giving a stupid penalty away in the 89th minute.
Thank you, Bisek.
Grazie, Bistek.
Bistek.
But he scored, so you can't even.
He's not a good defender.
He's not a good. He actually did very well this game. I'm not gonna lie. He actually defended really well.
I'm just backtracking for when you said Bisek is not a defender. He's not good at defending.
No, I said no.
He's a defender.
He's not a good defender, but every other aspect of his game is very.
Yeah,
good.
but he's a defender.
Yeah, I get it. But Inzaghi's defending.
Onana's not a good shot stopper.
No,
Yeah, but
Onana's not a goalkeeper,
Okay.
but is.
Okay. Anyways, you can't say anything out of context on box to box.
Yeah, no.
But going into this final match day right
the
now,
league needs
Napoli
a
are
good
up.
Juve.
Oh my god.
Okay. So
Anyways, Napoli are ahead by 1 point.
Yeah, that's
Within
what's
3 drop
happening.
points as well. So nothing has changed since last week.
but the schedule has.
Schedule has, so now the final game for Napoli and Inter will be decided on Friday.
This Friday.
This Friday, the 23rd.
Watch along.
That's crazy.
That's
So,
a most definite watch along.
so May 23rd, Napoli and Inter will play at the same time
Okay.
to decide who wins the title. And if both teams end up tied again, like if they end up tied
Yeah,
on
what
points,
happened? But how could they? If Napoli
only way
drops,
if Napoli lose and Inter draw.
Yeah.
What's gonna be crazy?
But I don't.
So
see it
you
happening.
need Napoli.
so
to
watch
lose.
along.
I need Napoli to draw.
So watch along Friday, watch along Sunday, and then watch along Monday also
Why
can't do
Monday?
that.
for the extravaganza bonanza final.
Oh, why they would play
2.0.
on Monday?
They would play on Monday if it goes
And
to
then
a tie.
Champions League on
The
Sunday.
then Champions League on
extravaganza
Sunday.
bonanza end game.
That's perfect.
No,
we
it's
need
not.
that.
It won't happen. I'm telling you, it won't happen.
They're playing
There's too
Cagliari. Marotta already did his voodoo against Cagliari. Cagliari was playing tiki-taka ball.
Right? I'm telling you, it will not happen. Cagliari will probably lose.
Augello goal and
As soon
The
as
Vumbo goal.
Napoli score one goal, you could expect
Set up shop.
the most heinous block known
history.
known to mankind from Antonio Conte. I'm telling
I
you.
really need the playoff. I really
need it too. And he's an Inter
I
fan.
really
No, this is what's gonna. If that happens, well, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna set you guys up here.
Here, okay.
You, Pala, and Varvar.
Yeah.
You can watch the game here.
Okay, and you?
And then there'll be a separate camera of me in another room where I can watch it myself.
a rage room.
Okay.
My
You
rage
know those
room.
rage rooms that you can
He breaks
fucking
everything.
destroy everything.
I'll watch it in a separate room.
Bisek, fuck!
I'll watch it in a separate room so the set doesn't get destroyed if something happens.
Right, because the soprano poster is
Everything's
still
back up.
intact.
Everything's back up.
Yeah,
We're
thank
fine.
you.
We're fine. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it'll be decided on Friday.
I'm top four.
And then we'll have a separate room for Pala for Juventus.
Oh,
'Cause
yes.
if they do make top four, that's big.
Is that a live stream?
Yeah, Sunday.
It's Sunday.
Extravaganza bonanza,
Extravaganza,
bro.
yeah, get ready, bro.
They play Venezia. We really need
they're
Gianluca Busio. If you're listening, the only like pro football player who follows us on Instagram,
Is he? No,
one of the only.
one of the only.
Please, like we need something here.
Yeah.
Like
Then we'll have an interview right
Like
after.
I really, really, really.
Yeah,
need
Like if-
this would be a good time.
If Busio ends up ruining Juve's Champions League,
I'm flying to Venezia.
we are flying to Venezia.
And I'm shaking his
and
hand.
shaking his hand personally.
Yes, goat.
Yeah. And
But I find it tough that Juve is not making top four.
so
right
so
now.
how does the table look for Serie A? Realistically, who could make that final spot? It's
Roma.
Juve,
Roma, Lazio, Juve.
and Fiorentina. No chance.
No.
But it's in Juve's hands because if Juve wins, then it's fine.
Yeah,
But
but
if they
Gianluca
drop?
Busio got something for us.
Gianluca
so,
Busio better have something.
Yes.
for us.
So,
he's
so
going to have something
I
for
really want Roma in CL.
Yeah.
I think this Roma team
Looks good.
There's a feeling to it that I really like. I think Ranieri adds to that feeling, but
Yeah.
it's actually pretty nice to watch Roma do
agree.
well. Soft spot for him.
Yeah. For sure.
Who are they getting as manager next year? We still don't know.
Lord knows.
Italian one. They were linked to Allegri. Fabregas. But Fabregas is not leaving.
Yeah.
He might go to Leverkusen still.
That's a good
Still?
fit.
I thought he agreed, like it was official that he was going to stay in Como.
No.
Still.
And also, final topic for today: Ligue 1 is looking to change its way of determining their champion. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about it. It kind of feels like Americanized. I think they already do this in Belgium, but I'm gonna pull up the table right now and tell you. So basically, the way that they would set up is yes, PSG would win the regular season equivalent, basically. So they'd be first, but then they would play Nice in a playoff in the first round on the left, and then on the right, Marseille would play Monaco. So it's basically turns into like a cup competition after the season's
Pretty
done.
sick. It's good.
So I don't know if for leagues like Ligue 1 where it's so lopsided, it might actually help bring fans, because
There's a lot more to play for.
Yeah, it adds stakes to the games.
Like even
Final
that fourth
games.
spot becomes, it's not just like a Europa League. It ends up being like, okay, like if you end up fourth, you actually have a chance, albeit it's a large chance.
Yeah.
Like wide chance, but you're gonna have a chance to actually win the league.
It's true.
But the thing is that I think in football, it's very hard to grasp the concept of like your whole season. Like I feel like they'd see it as like your season means nothing.
Yeah, because if you
And
get
then
to top 6, then you're fine, right?
Like if you come first and then you end up crapping out in the final or whatever, then it's like, whoa, the season was for nothing.
Like PSG, okay? The issue with PSG right now is that it might come end of like January. They already have a top 4 spot secured. They could just not even play the second half of the season.
True.
Focus on Champions League kind
Yeah.
of thing, and then it's like,
So
then
it
it's
might
like
help-
okay, you play your starters in the semifinal
Yeah.
and the final there.
Yeah.
It's
So
tough. They're trying to curb the lead that PSG
Competitiveness.
has, and they're trying to make it more competitive. Do I think this is a step closer? Sure, but at the end of the day, I think like what Varvar said, it gives PSG the opportunity to just like load up until like Jan Feb, secure top 4, and it's like whoever you face, regardless, chances are you already beat them in the league. So you just have to do it again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good work.
I would like to hear from Belgian fans, if there are any Belgian fans out there, how the playoff. You think the playoff is better for your league, or worse? You think has it made the league more competitive, or has it made it a bit more boring?
It made my FMC very
Interesting.
very interesting and confusing.
I would want to see how like PSG's the test dummy. The Ligue 1 is the test dummy. I don't want to see this in the Prem anytime soon.
No.
Because it's still competitive. I think if the league format, if the league's actually competitive, it's a lot better than playoff.
But then why not focus on like investment? Why focus on the actual way of playing the games? Like,
What do you mean?
like find foreign investment in these teams that are going bankrupt, that don't have money to buy players, and try to attract better players. Do a whole marketing thing to. But it's just, I think the problem is just the league. Like, it's not the quality there.
I don't know. I think PSG have such a stranglehold on that league.
Yeah.
Like even behind.
Yeah, but look at that, foreign investment. Qataris came in, made them the best
but
team in the league.
U.S. investors who came into Ligue 1, like Lyon is owned by an American
Now
investor.
is-
Like they're all owned by American. Nice is owned by Sir Jim Radcliffe. Like,
Yeah.
it's like you're not talking about small owners of these teams. It's just, bro, like PSG have
It takes
such a
a lot.
stranglehold.
But if you look at these teams, they're all feeders. Like they're all teams that, like, you look at a
yes,
Strasbourg,
because
they're Chelsea feeders.
even if you pump a lot of money in, it's not even worth it. Like it's not.
because
If you're not, if there's no city in France big enough also like that has enough like
I think
market
Monaco would be
and
pretty cool.
opportunity. Yeah, Monaco would be pretty cool, but like once again, there really year-round money. Like they come and go, I think, and the people that are there are just billionaires. They're not like, it's not like they're
Like actual fans.
yeah, exactly. So it's like
It's tough. It's a very expensive place to live too. Like
yeah.
it's France is a very particular country to play in, because I feel like the difference between the teams, like in terms of like where they are, could drastically change the way you live and stuff like that. Like
Yeah,
you
bro.
go from a bustling town to like middle of nowhere.
Mm.
Similar to Italy, but Italy I feel like it's different in the sense that everywhere is nice.
Bro, just hating on France. That's
Kind of. I have no issue with France. Never been. So
France is everywhere is nice. Also, if Italy
Yeah.
everywhere is nice, I'm sure if you ask a non-Italian to go to fucking middle of I don't even know, like
Bari, I guess. I don't know.
yeah, they'll say
Like
this
down
place
south?
is fucking dog shit.
Yeah. But Bari's very nice.
Bari's
you know?
actually very gorgeous. Like I don't.
To
Yeah, but
Italians,
for neutral, that
No,
might-
for anyone, but I'm
No.
not saying, no, I'm not saying France is ugly. I'm not saying France is ugly. I'm not saying France is ugly. I'm just saying that like there's towns like Salernitana was able to.
yeah, Salerno is not like Salerno is
so-
beautiful for me.
Yeah, but they were able to bring in a Ribéry. They were still able to bring in players that have a name
Yeah.
to it. Do you get what I mean?
no.
Okay, you don't get.
No, he's right.
No, because there's
Like,
teams in
Ribéry
Ligue
went
1
to
that have been able to.
Salernitana.
Yeah, but there's teams in Ligue 1 that were able to like that have had big players play for them.
But we're talking about like the bottom level team. Salernitana is not in Serie A anymore.
With City
I
B.
know.
Like it's, you know what I mean? Like
Montpellier, fucking
They were a big team.
16th. Saint Etienne,
who did they have though that joined them?
Rennes are 12th.
Okay, but who did they have that joined? Like I'm talking about like a Ribéry.
Recently,
Yeah, like he's saying. Is that what you're saying? Like a big star joining.
Yeah, like a big
even if
star.
he's fallen off.
They go to Florence.
Yeah.
They go to Florence. It's a mid-table team. They go to Salerno. And a couple used to go to Palermo.
Yeah.
Palermo, when they were in Serie A, had very good players. Like these are all towns. These are all
yes, but not only Italy's the most beautiful country.
I
like,
didn't say that. I didn't say
like
that.
France has nice cities everywhere.
Yes,
I know,
but
but
it's
he's
not as
saying
I
like
don't
a
know.
Montpellier can't attract a Ribery. You know what I mean? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
But I think
I kind of agree with that.
But Ribery played at Marseille. Like it's because that's why. Like he wouldn't. I don't know if he'd join another French team.
Yeah, that was just an example I brought up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to blow it up to fucking something you're saying.
This is a good topic. I feel like this would
ripping
be
French
a-
people.
yeah.
It's just like I feel like there's some areas that are more attractive to play in than others. That's all.
A little bleu. But
Yeah, you tell me if you would want to play in Como. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Sounds good, bro.
So Jamie Vardy to Salernitana is what I'm.
Jamie Vardy to
that.
Como.
Well, just like a Joe Hart to Torino made no sense, but
No,
they
no
happened.
sense, but he loved it.
Yeah.
Nice.
He loved it. You know Joe Hart.
Actually saw him in Torino.
Literally saw him having a pizza in Torino, bro. You wouldn't know that shit, bro.
Anyways,
Anyways,
very eventful podcast. A lot of topics.
started the podcast with rage bait. Ended the podcast. with rage bait.
0 intro of rage bait, and then whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
2 hours.
One
End of rage bait.
147 something. End of rage bait.
Yeah.
Timestamp for you.
Love that comment. But
But yeah, that's
about it.
58.
so we're gonna be hopping onto the Patreon now to do the weekly, and
Open. Do we have some PO box stuff or no?
we
We
do.
actually have two things.
Yeah, we're opening some PO box. It's only 2 things, but
Okay.
we're still doing it on Patreon. If you guys want to send us something, the PO box is, where is it?
Probably
the
in the
address is
description.
down below.
Yes.
Yeah, it's on the Patreon.
Yeah, on the Patreon for sure.
Yeah. So we'll see you there.
Okay.
Peace out.
Ciao.